Good afternoon, Terra Mystica community. I am here with my teammate from Team Asia, DeepFinesse, the deepest finesse, of course. And we are both very excited to be casting week 3 of the International Clash, hosted today by Team Europe on base map with no landscapes. It's the purest, with an IST, settings for Terra Mystica. It's the map that everybody knows and there's nowhere to hide. Mm-hmm. How are you doing today?
Yep, good. How are you?
I'm great. I'm very excited.
So we're back to the basics. Back to the basics today. How the game was meant to be played all these years ago. Team Europe picked this map. I think Gino won his Fire 2 Open on this exact setting. Is that right?
The first one. The first one was no landscapes.
Yep. So that might be part of the reason why they picked this map. Although this week we're seeing
Bissagoa. He's
piloting Team Europe.
Yeah, a buddy of mine. We have a regular kind of turn-based game going with 2 others, Nelson and Simon B. So I'm very excited.
Do you play the base map often?
We actually have multiple games going. So usually we have one base map, and like right now we have a Fjords game going as well. So it's super fun.
So I think we can all see the schedule on the screen here. We have a 5-week round robin going on for the International Clash. There's 5 teams, and every week 4 teams are playing. So we are halfway through. So basically at the midterms at the moment. And every team has 1 week off. So every team plays 4 matches, and the scores are added up at the end. You get 6 points for first, 3 points for second, and 1 point for third.
This week, Team Asia is off, which is why DeepFinesse and I are casting. And get this, DeepFinesse, I am cheering for Team USA today, and I even have the t-shirt to show it.
Oh, I have not seen that before.
Because my husband, Mr. Fickles, is actually playing for Team USA today. So go
Did they
USA.
get a set of t-shirts custom made for this? That's awesome.
They did, and apparently they have some really special surprise that will be revealed at some future point. But I'm looking forward to that.
Is there also a merchandise store for this?
I wish. I want Team Asia t-shirts. Just can you imagine, like, you know, the Shingeki no Kyojin, the Attack on Titan image, like on a t-shirt? That would be super badass. So, yeah.
We probably don't have we probably won't be able to get the licensing for that, but I'm not sure. Bizzo, something to think about. You can't worry about that.
Alright,
and here we see is this the standings for the tournament structure and the overall standings, 1 bye per week, and we have 4 players on each team with a couple of alternates, but every week 4 players will be on the group call, and they will be the 3 players not actually playing will be supporting their commander who's actually piloting the game.
So today, Europe is piloted by Bissagoa, USA by Rainier, Brazil, Victor is at the helm, and Zorus for Canada.
Yes, very, very strong pilots all throughout. Very exciting match we're going to see here.
And currently, Team Asia is in the lead with 8 points, right?
Yes, we are in the lead with 8 points.
That will change, of course, since we're not playing this week, so 0 points for us. But yeah, we'll see what some of the teams that don't have many points yet, what kind of game plan they have.
Do we also have a standings page, Bizzle? If we can take a look at that. Oh, yes. So we can all see the score on of week 1 and week 2 on the flags.
Yep. So I think Europe has 6, and Brazil has 1, USA with 2.
Yeah.
All right.
So one thing to note is that at the end of the round robins of the 5 teams, the 4 teams with highest score will go into the playoffs, the finals. So really the overall goal of these 5 weeks is to not end in last. And so what I think we might see, especially from Team Brazil this week, is they really need to secure a win in the remaining 2 weeks left of the round robin series. And we might see a little more of a volatile strategy from Brazil, going for first or nothing, because really they need to lock in the first place out of their last 2 games to secure that 6 points and give them a fighting chance at not ending in last. So perhaps like something, some of the more volatile factions, they might go for a strategy that really needs other people to cooperate a little and not mess with them, and for a couple of things to break their way. But yeah.
May we be looking at more of a messy color lineup than usual? I know that there's been some debate on Discord about the pros and cons of that. I know some people have been very vocal about preferring like a more clean lineup, especially on Team USA. So I would say if I'm Brazil, I'm doing the opposite.
Yeah.
Where? Okay, let's take a look. All right, we are going to the game now.
All right, and we have Team Canada picking first, followed by Team Brazil, Team USA, and Team Europe.
Okay, so Team Europe picking last suggests to me, and Team USA picking third, we're probably not going to see a messy setup.
And we also see the setups, the scoring setups for this game today. We have for the round scoring, temple, big building, dwelling, trading post, town, dwelling.
This is a high-scoring game.
Very, very high-scoring game.
Yeah, with towns round 5 and dwellings right after that. Wow.
Yes, and although the scrolls themselves, we are missing the dwelling scoring, the temple score, the trading post scoring.
Yeah, TP.
Yeah, I guess we're missing the dwelling scoring, but the big building scoring and the ship scoring is also lends themselves to very high scoring games. Can easily score 8 or 9 points off these in a later round.
Yeah. And a lot of factions like the dig scroll in.
So Canada has put Darklings into play. Canada has also had a very strong performance with Darklings last week, coming in second.
That's right. Oh, and Temple first round. I wonder if we'll see some, 2 Temple openings, which I love that.
The color rewards are a little split between the 4 colors though. So I feel for 2 temple openings, a couple of things I think about would be like cultists who can because from building their temples they get all these extra code steps. Maybe mermaids because they need all the extra priests to go to codes and to increase their shipping. But the code rewards don't lend themselves so well to rewarding getting a lot of priests up front and sending them to codes.
There's not a ton of money. I mean, like the priest coin reward happens in the first round, so that's not very much, and no earth coin either. And we're missing like the 4 coin scroll. So yeah, I would say we might see a couple factions do 2 temples with fire 1, especially with the fire reward in round 2.
Yeah. For the 2 factions already selected, Darklings and Chaos Magicians, it does look like their game plan is pretty straightforward following the track. Temple round 1, Sanctuary round 2, Dwelling Spree round 3, Trading Post round 4, Towns round 5. It's very, very, very straightforward. Yeah, I'm not sure if we'll see any room for variability for Darklings and Chaos Magicians in the sequence that they build their buildings. Like, it's just so much score going by what the track dictates today. Like, I don't see Darklings going for 2 temples. I don't see Chaos Magicians going for 2 temples. And I definitely see them building their Sanctuary around 2.
Right. And since these scrolls, like the scrolls that they're going to get for the first round are actually pretty good. I mean, the first 2 factions will probably take the Dig Scroll and, the Seed 3 and 4 will probably take Big Building and Dig Scroll.
Yes,
so
yes.
Seed 1 or 2 will get Priest or 3 Power and a Worker. That's real good.
Yes, the scrolls are set up in a way so that, as you said, everyone is going to get something strong to start. Yeah. So that means that negates the downside of the first player, which is that oftentimes they won't be able to get a scroll they want. But in this case, I see Darkling being pretty happy with like 4 out of the 7 scrolls. So there's no problem with that. And then, so now Darklings has, instead, they just have their advantage of going first and upgrading first and getting all the extra leech.
Yeah, we might be in for a long auction again.
So the third faction, we have Witches. Witches, looking at the scoring, they could do Temple round 1, into Stronghold round 2, also into Dwellings round 3 and TPs round 4. So yeah, they can also hit the track pretty well.
Right, and they love town scoring, of course.
And right now we have 3 factions that are all apart from each other. So it's down to so Team Euro put in Nomads, and that rounds out the faction picks. Nomads next to Chaos Magicians in terms of color wheel. So yeah, 4 really strong factions overall that will all be able to take advantage of the scoring track really well. And Team Canada started the auction off on Darklings, which does look like the strongest here. Just the 2 factions without color neighbors, Darklings and Witches. I guess we can take a look at dwelling placements while they are slowly bidding down the...
Oh, I guess somebody might take Temp. Will somebody take Tempship?
Tempship... could be. Witches could take Tempship, and that will allow them to build Temp for Earth 1 into 2 dwellings, which seems like a pretty good start.
Right. All right, so... which is starting in the traditional places?
Darkling starts center, and Witches start center, and if they want to take Tempship, they might start here.
Just to be next to Chaos.
And we have Nomads start like this. And everyone is expecting Chaos to go here, which they probably will do. And then we have Darkling's second dwelling versus Nomad's second dwelling. Yeah. Nomads might start here, which will be a huge pain to Chaos Magicians. I suppose Chaos Magicians might be the weakest here. I don't really like playing Chaos all that much with Nomads in the picture, especially since Nomads they take 3 yellows right off the bat.
Right.
And they take a lot of the reds very fast too, so...
Yeah, I mean, can we... are we expecting Nomads to do Stronghold round 2?
I think that would be their ideal plan. I'm not sure if they'll get enough workers for that.
Yeah, the affordability of that.
There's also the Earth 1 race here that's potentially an issue for Nomads. I'm not sure how much they care about Earth 1 though, since the scoring.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if.
I would guess that most everybody goes for. I mean, probably Chaos and Darklings will get Earth 1 in round 2, right? Just because the track is so high scoring.
Yeah, I guess the common argument for not taking Earth 1 is you take an economic favor, and that will fuel your expansion, and you'll be able to hit the track much better. and score, like make up your points from there. But I feel like with this track, though, that's just so naturally set up. Like you're just going to build your buildings in this direction. I'm wondering if instead that the factions actually do on Earth 1, because that will, like, everyone's hitting the track at basically a very high rate, and Earth 1 is going to be like the extra boost in scoring that will make the difference.
Yeah, probably especially nomads. All right, how is the bidding going?
So we have Darklings already down to 22 and a couple of bids on Witches. It's pretty much to be expected. The two factions are neighbors. Chaos has the all the yellows being taken problem that we just talked about, and Nomads has the potentially the Earth 1 problem.
Yeah, I mean, if we're talking about nomads having problems, like if they're not able to afford their stronghold round 2 because of workers, the worker income comes right after that.
If they take single dig to start, they build a temple, they build a dwelling, they will have a temple, 3 dwellings on the board that gives them 4 workers. So they'll only be 2 workers short. That's pretty doable. It might be more of a coin issue in that case, which means that they might actually do prefer Fire 1 instead of Earth 1. And witches will also be they will also have that worker issue, right? They take tempship to start, and they build temple plus 2 dwellings. Then round 2, they also get 4 workers, and they need 2 more for the stronghold.
Well, depending on where Darklings place, is there a chance that nomads want tempship?
Yeah.
Since they have enough to build a temple and 2 more dwellings, so maybe they take tempship, they get single dig, and then they build across the water.
Like if Darklings, I guess you're thinking if Darklings place here, for example, nomads might want to secure this expansion path early on and cut Darklings off.
Yeah, I mean, why not just leave? I mean, the east is so good for Darklings, but you're also just really helping witches a lot.
Yeah, like this dwelling is a little awkward because it does seem like Chaos Magicians will get to the brown hex before witches. That's not guaranteed though. It depends on how much of a premium witches places on taking this brown hex. This town is a really good one for witches, the center town. If they can secure both hexes, it's just a very easy town and gets witches the extra 5 points. So we're thinking Darklings is more likely to still start on the right, just for places to take, places to build dwellings, and then they'd be able to contest network. Right.
I mean, if they start, I mean, let's see. Isn't this also a common starting point for Darklings when witches are in the game?
Yeah, I think we saw this in one of the games a couple while ago where Darklings started here, but then nomads were able to put their 3rd dwelling right next to them. And then that does make it very uncomfortable for Darklings. I think this has happened before, and I think this dwelling of nomads right here is just too painful for Darklings that I don't think they can afford to do that.
Right. Yeah. Nomads do make it very tricky for Darklings. So let's see. So Darklings, they go first. They're not going to give Chaos enough power to single dig immediately, do they?
Yeah. So Yeah, I could see witches. Is witches getting the double dig? They might be. If witches is getting the double dig, they could start these two spots, and then they could just double dig and take. They could start these two spots in the center, and then they could just double dig, and they could build a fast town. They could build a fast town round 2.
I mean, there's also a good chance they get the dig scroll.
Mm-hmm. So back to the auction, Darkling's down to 19, which is down to 13, both in the 20s. I think that's pretty reasonable. And Team Brazil has hopped on Nomads. So leaving Chaos as probably the only 30s faction. I'm thinking maybe like a 15 or so differential between Darklings, Witches, and then the weaker, like Chaos. Chaos just has a lot of inherent scoring ability with all their resources. And just like getting by being able to pick up an extra favor every time they build a temple, build a sanctuary, they just have so much resources going on. And
right, especially with the high scoring track, like those extra, investing in the resources is going to really pay off.
Now I look at it a bit more, I think Chaos will be able to take the gray if they wanted to. It's not as attractive with a Nomad's dwelling right here, though, because the whole point of taking the gray is to get this town without bridging at all. But they won't be able to do that if Nomads started here. But they will be able to take like a power scroll, and since they go ahead of Witches, they can just spend their first move going dig, build.
Oh, right. They'll take the 3 power and a worker.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So then the Darklings will end up with the priest.
Darklings will end up with the priest or the big building. I think one huge break in this game is going to be who lands on the big building score round 2. Because as we were talking about just a minute earlier, the Nomads and the Witches, they won't be able to build their big building without another influx of 2 workers. And so the big building scroll gives you that 2 workers, and it gives you 4 extra points on top of it. So I think that's going to be huge. And so, like, depending on if Darklings wanted to take that, I think Darklings starting big building is probably stronger than starting priest, because they could go get a priest. They could go take the priest action with just 3 power, as opposed to the worker action with 4 power.
And it's not like they have enough workers to dig and build, and then it's not like really the cults are not that great. I guess like if you're not going to dig and build, you might as well put it to fire and get 2 coins and 2 workers possibly, since they're probably going to take fire 1.
Take fire 1 with the sanctuary, or take fire 1 to start. They could take fire 1 to start. If it depends on how. Yeah, that's tricky. Like how much importance do people place on fire 1 when it's kind of a low coin game in the sense that there's just 6 coins and no other source of coins from the codes. But so if we're saying that Nomads take dig, Witches take. There's just a lot of options though. Witches could take Tempship, they could take Priest. It's really hard to predict where the big building scroll will land up, and thus who is going to get it in round 2. And being able to get your worker income from the big building scroll and get the 4 points is just so big over like having to take the worker power action, which people are like, they do it if they have to, but they much rather take the coin power action.
I mean, if anybody is going to forego Stronghold.
I think not. Although, like, no, I could see Nomads building Sanctuary instead. But I think everyone is going to. I could also see Witches building Sanctuary. No. I think the Witches Stronghold is so strong. It gives you an extra dwelling every turn. free dwelling, and that just eliminates their need to increase shipping until the very end of the game.
I mean, whoever takes big building this round, if it's not Darklings or Chaos, I mean, they could go to Temple Opening, right, with the big building scroll.
Yes, although if I guess Nomads could potentially do it, they will then not be able to do their. I think it gives up a lot on the track scoring though if they do two Temple. Especially if they want another favor, they could just delay it until this next round and do a Sanctuary instead. Quite often, I actually find the 2 Temple openings more attractive when the first round is not Temple scoring, as odd as that may seem. Because, like, especially for Cultists, if the first round is, say, I think Dig scoring, and it gives you like a cult, it's a coin cult reward. Then Cultists can just build 2 temples and then like get all the way up to 5 or 6 or even higher on Earth, and have that influx of coins come in for round 2. Whereas if it's temple scoring, then round 1, no matter how much Cultist builds, they don't get anything from the cult rewards because it's a reward for sending priests to cults.
Right. Okay, so you're focusing more on the cult reward rather than...
Yeah, I think to some degree, like the cult rewards might actually make the temple start more attractive than temple scoring itself. The other thing is, if temple scoring comes at a later round and you open with 2 temples, you still get all the extra priests to send to cults, and then you can bring the rewards of 2 coins per cult, 2 points per priest later on, round 4 and round 5. And that's also very good.
We haven't yet talked about who's winning the cults. And it does, I mean, looking at these factions, Chaos is probably going to do very, very well.
Yes, I agree. I think witches probably want to just secure the air cult. That's quite often what they do with their 2 native steps on air. And it does seem a very good strategy against an opponent with like Chaos that just has like so dominant in codes. So I see like Chaos winning 2.5, which is trying their best to secure the air cult. And Nomads may be making a play at 1 or 1.5 cults if they send a lot of because Nomads might not have a lot to do with their priests either with their round 1 temple. If they do like round 2 stronghold, then they don't really need they might need shipping later on, but like it's not as
there is
as
a ship scoring scroll in.
I do like that, the tension that creates, like having the ship scoring, which means that you're incentivized to increase your ship by 2 or so in the early round versus needing to send your priest to cult, which the other thing about priest to cult is the cult rewards, as we said, they're kind of weak.
Right. Late digs.
Spread out, late digs, they're kind of weak, and that might further disincentivize people to send priests to cult. So what I predict we'll see is just a couple of priests to the 3 spot early on, and then people will sort of leave it to be for a while. Like just secure the 3 spot, and the rest don't really matter that much.
Yeah, Chaos will be spreading out. They'll go to 2 ship, right? Round 3.
Yes. I think Chaos might be going to 2 ship might be the most important for Chaos of all, because if witches get their stronghold out, then they don't need ship. 2 ship for Nomads is also pretty important on this map. But if they do want their stronghold out, I don't think they'll have the resources to put into 2 ship. So, and for this map, 2 ship for Chaos also works very well, and it's even more important with Nomads in the game. They do want to take the red hex as soon as possible.
Do you think Nomads here is so much worse than Chaos, given that they're going to do probably pretty well on cults?
Like Chaos being worse than Nomads? I think I'm not sure. I'm not sure. It's it's hard to quantify how big of a penalty to impose on chaos when nomads is in the game. I know I've been burned a few times, like playing chaos with nomads in the game, and then the res just disappear at a very alarming rate. So yeah, I don't I don't know how to quantify it, but that's okay because we'll have the teams tell us how they wish to assign the penalty to chaos.
Yeah, well, I wonder if we'll see this brown hex kind of in the isthmus in the center here, if it will be who will get it between Darklings and Nomads.
Yeah, this brown hex right here. It seems a little important for Darklings, and they'd be able to pick it up pretty easily, right? Especially if they get one of the bonus squirrels with a worker. If they want to put further priority on it, they could even start by digging it.
Yeah, it's not bad. You get a lot of power from chaos.
Yes, yes. Like if the dwellings were placed like this, I think we've lost a green dwelling somewhere. But if the dwellings were placed, so if which is placed in the middle, and then, well, chaos is going in the middle, and chaos are going to upgrade there. So darklings like going first, they could just take the brown. And yeah,
That's a ton
like
of power.
I don't see a dwelling placement where that causes an issue. And that just makes their center sanctuary town a lot easier. Especially if they don't care about Earth 1, they just want to take Fire 1. And then they could take Fire 1 into Water 1 round 2. That's a totally reasonable opening. Yeah, I could see that. I could see the first Darkling take to start.
What do you think about this, about Water 1 in round 2? What I do like about that is that it puts a lot of pressure on the other factions. I guess it'll be round 4 for the TP scoring round that we'll see a Water Rush race by 2 other factions. It puts a lot of pressure. Although generally I do think round 2 Water 1 is very early.
The reason, another reason why I think Earth 1 could be like very critical this game is when we see round 6 dwelling scoring. That just leaves every faction with a plan of, especially like round 5 town scoring, factions build trading posts round 5 to score out their towns, and then they are left with a lot of dwellings on their board. And then that's just their plan to like put these buildings out, fight for their work round 6. And so having Earth 1 and being able to pick up the extra 6 points, 8 points at the end where you're putting out these dwellings is huge. So I do like to put a priority on taking Earth 1 when round 6 is dwelling scoring.
I agree, yeah. So Team Canada on Darklings at 13. Do you think they'll go much lower than that?
I think that's... I think we're about there, like the 15 point or so differential between Darklings and Chaos. We're at 17 already.
I don't know, I kind of like Chaos.
This is a pretty weird auction in the sense that I think in a lot of auctions there's one faction that's just like that doesn't have a clear game plan coming out of the auction. Like it's possible they end up with a bad scroll and all they can do is like build 2 tempos, build 1 tempo and then pass. In the worst case scenario, or like build 1 tempo, send a priest to code and pass. But in this case, with the scrolls being also strong, like and the factions themselves being also strong, really, like every faction has a number of plans they could go after. Like Nomads probably take dig, but they could take like worker power to go for the double dig. That's less likely. And then Nomads take dig, witches could take priest, witches could take worker power to aim for the double dig. So there's just a lot of different opening lines, and I think that makes it a lot interesting to analyze, but it might be a little too much to like figure out all of that in the limited time we have in the auction.
So I guess if round one, Darklings or Chaos end up with a big building, then the thing to consider is oftentimes the faction that's following them. So if Darklings take big building, then Chaos has the best shot at having it for round two.
Yes.
So if
and
I'm
then
Chaos
will also need to consider like how do they time their pass so that they pass like exactly one step after Darklings.
So if I'm Chaos and big building is available to me, I'm probably leaving it for Darklings.
Let's see. There's another opening for Chaos that I think is pretty reasonable. Is if Nomads take dig and witches take say priest. Chaos could take say temp ship, and what they could do is they could aim to get the double dig round one and take these hexes. Because Chaos is probably not building their sanctuary round one. So if they just go like temple plus 2 dwellings, that they'd be able to do that with temp ship and 2 power from witches, which they will get because they're going to upgrade after witches. So if they go TP, which is upgrade, and then they could go double dig. Well, witches might not upgrade here though.
They're probably upgrading the southern one. But I guess if I'm Chaos, I'm hoping that that Darklings come.
The Darkling starts with a dig, yeah. Let's see. There's also the other issue of if witches doesn't start here. The whole reason I wanted witches to start here is if they just take temp ship, and so they don't have to expend any resources at all round one to go earth 1 plus double dwelling. But witches might not start here, and then that will give Chaos a neighbor problem.
Right.
Like if witches start here instead. Like as Chaos, do you do you like sort of surrender and go next to them? Do you go here?
It seems pretty good to start next to Chaos and get all that leech.
That's true. That is the other consideration. Yeah. And the other thing I would be worried about not starting here at witches is Chaos could take this green. Like that does save them. That might save them ships early on if they want to expand this way and this way, and that saves them a bridge too. So Chaos could very well take the screen at some point if Witches doesn't secure that. And all that leech is definitely a very strong consideration. Especially if they could upgrade, they could not upgrade. That gives them the option to like upgrade one side or another. And even like if they don't upgrade, just getting 3 free leech early on for no point, like losing no points for that is very strong too. We have Team Europe down to 12 on Darklings now. I think it's getting a
really
little.
on Darklings.
That might be one of the themes that we've also seen this last week, where Darklings went down to 13. Was that on the Fjords map?
Zorus on Team Canada today, so I guess he really wants Darklings.
I suppose Darklings could be seen as a safer pick in some sense, because they just have all that. They're very steady. I feel like their score often falls in a reasonably tight range, and it's hard to disrupt because they dig with their priests. So we might see some teams placing a premium on Darklings. For a safer bet of perhaps going second as opposed to shooting for first, but possibly ending up third or fourth.
Oh yeah, that's true. I did forget about, there's the bigger game of trying to last out this the round robin.
Yeah. Which is why I think it's likely that Team Brazil, if they get a chance, they're the ones that are going to jump on Chaos Magicians. Because starting at 30 is part of the game plan of and if everything goes just a little well, then your scoring could go up to the 150s, 160s pretty easily. You just need a couple of key situations to go right.
Here we go.
And we are
Canada
off.
On Chaos.
Canada on Chaos at 30, Brazil 22, Team USA 14 on Witches. So we see Rainier end up on Witches, which I think is one of his favorite faction. Is his favorite faction. So that's exciting to see.
He does love Witches with town scoring.
Team Europe on Darklings. And on dwelling placement, we see that the center trifecta placed as expected, and then we have some choices.
Yeah, I don't love the nomads having to start by themselves in the West. It's not it's not great without blue or black taking that C1 spot.
Is probably going to take that blue, the blue next to their dwelling, to the left of their dwelling, pretty early.
Sure, for their sanctuary town.
Yeah.
Right, and especially once nomads build their stronghold, everybody's going to be rushing to secure their hexes.
Yes. I think this D3 is also a pretty standard start for nomads, and then Witches has the choice of going in the center, C3, to take out that leech from Chaos, or starting in the east, and giving Chaos a harder time. I like the center start myself, but we'll see what Rainier has to say about that.
I think that starting in the east doesn't really have a lot of upside. I mean, you can get there easily enough, and it's not under threat from Darklings or anything, so...
Yeah.
If I'm Witches, I'm also starting C3.
Are we still on the map, Bizzle? Can we see this? So the other thing about starting in the east, and this is a problem, is that if Darkling starts here, then this town for Witches isn't starting in the east does not guarantee that, because Darklings can cut. Got it. Yeah. So if Witches starts E9, one of their aims is to dig all the way down to the green in the high row, and that is not possible if Darklings start. Well, that is very unlikely if Darklings also start east, because Darklings can cut them off in the blue on the G row.
Yeah, but if they take G6, F7, E10, that is really, really good also for Witches if they're wrapping around Witches and giving them tons and tons of power.
Yep, and Rainier started center, and now it's Team Europe's decision, which we said that probably start in the east. No neighbors for a while, but a lot of places to dig. I think they can make up for the lack of neighbors just by getting a ton of leech in the center, especially if first move, as we discussed, they take E6 and getting the extra leech from Chaos. The good thing about the east is, even for the lack of neighbors, because round 3 is dwelling scoring, so Darklings are not going to have that many priests by then. And if you start in the east, you just need 2 digs with 3 additional blocks to build on, which that's then get out all that dwellings round 3. And then potentially face a round 4 trading post problem with no neighbors. But hopefully Witches has arrived in the east by then, or Chaos, because round 3 is shipping. Round 3 is dwelling rush, and Chaos might be able to expand with enough resources all the way to the east too by then.
All the way to the east.
It's possible with 2 shipping and the dig, they'd be able to get there.
So what could Team Europe be considering? G5 is the obvious one, but maybe they're afraid of nobody coming to the east, so maybe they're considering C1.
The thing I don't like about C1 is it sort of constrains the Darklings game.
Right.
And yeah, it does make the expansions a lot trickier if a couple of the key black hexes disappear, which granted the black hexes are less likely to disappear, so it's possible that they could start C1 too for the extra leech.
Okay, well, if they start C1, then they're racing nomads also for B2 in addition to E6.
Yes. They don't have to take E2 though, right? Because they already have E5, which means that if they start C1, they just start connected, and they could just dig the D2, E2. They could dig that route instead.
Oh.
And that is what they've decided to do.
There we go. All right, so now witches are just by themselves in the east, eventually.
That is true. Witches, no, because chaos will get there eventually. One day. I guess witches wouldn't mind exactly. They could just build their 5-dwelling, 6-dwelling town.
F6, G6, H8. Yeah, that's pretty great. And just have the one neighbor on D7. I guess they're hoping for the 3 towns, the one in the middle, then the C4, B5, those across the top, and the eastern town. It looks like a pretty plausible game plan to me. All right.
So I think Chaos definitely has the trickiest start. How they fight out of this being crowded in already. I suppose they probably take the gray as first. Yeah, so Witches is going to take shipping, and they're going to spend no extra power. They don't need any power actions to do their plan of Earth 1 plus 2 dwellings. So I think that's what we're going to see. If they have the chance, though, I think they will double dig the middle hexes. I think if they somehow get the chance, they will double dig D5 and E7. I'm not absolutely sure of that, but and Darklings opens with the dig on the brown to bring in all the extra leech from Chaos, and and just not placing a priority on Earth 1. And
they're about to get a lot of leech.
And Chaos is deciding whether to take this gray, which they do. So then I think Witches has this plan of digging the middle 2 hexes. And they also have the backup plan of just doing their shipping thing. And both plans I think are very strong. So Witches is totally happy, totally fine with this too. Especially since now they get to be the first upgrade and get all the extra leech. So we're going to see a ton of leech come in for all the factions this round. And that's going to be pretty key on how they plan to spend it, especially since Chaos in particular will be angling for Darklings. Tile here. We see Nomads upgrade to the left instead. I think that is probably a result of the brown being dug away, so tempo in the middle is not as attractive, but I'm not sure about this. Not sure. They do lose out on 3 leech. 3 points for 3 leech to start.
Yeah, I mean, black is going to be upgraded in the middle. They're missing out on leech from green.
I think Nomads is reasonably happy with this start that they get to take Earth 1, though. Are they building their strongholds round 2? Do they have the resources? I think we were looking at this a bit earlier. Especially without all that extra leech, they might not have the resources. They're going to need 5 coins to build their temple. And then 2 to dig, that'll put them down to 7 coins. So next round, I guess they have enough, and they pass on to the 7 coins, and then they take the worker power action. They will have enough to build their stronghold. The other question for nomads might be like where they put their stronghold. Because if we're thinking like doing the temple, oh, hi Lizzie.
All right, so yeah, they're probably going to have a bridge town in the south. Mm-hmm. F3, G2, I6, I7.
Right. So if they put their stronghold, if they want to put their stronghold on F3 though, then I think the better plan in my mind would be to put their temple there first and then to put the stronghold on D3 so you don't lose out on all the leech. And then the other problem is next round when you're building a stronghold on F3, that is going to give out a ton of leech to people who've already finished upgrading. Yeah. And that's not very comfortable either.
Right. All right, so here is LizzytheLlama with some intel from Team Canada.
Hey guys, so I was just listening in on Team Canada for a while during the bid and the start of the game. So just some reports from the bidding. At first, they were very much on either Darklings or Witches. They were saying the Darklings plan is unstoppable. That's a quote from them. They also thought that the Witches were at certain points were mathematically the best. They were using some Snellman data to determine which factions were mathematically the best at different points in the bid. Mm-hmm. When they first started talking about Chaos, they said Chaos were very risky with nomads in the game, but they ended up being swayed over to Chaos. They said it's a great track for the Chaos Magicians. They think that Chaos Magicians is going to do very well on the cults. And so once they decided that Witches and Darklings were getting low enough on their points, that's when they decided to hop over to Chaos Magicians. One more thing to report. Team Canada accurately predicted that Witches were going to start with temp shipping. I heard them talking about it, and then Witches did it. So good on Team Canada for predicting that.
Great. Thank you, Lizzie.
Thank you, Lizzie.
All right, that's all from me, guys. Talk to you later.
Later.
Yes, I think the temp ship for Witches was a very good, it gives them both ways out. It gives them power so they can double take the center, and if Chaos puts a premium on the gray, then they can still build 2 dwellings without spending any resources. So I think that was a very good plan, and I think Chaos was also did great in anticipating that plan. And which means that they will as it turned out, they were able to take the worker power, which gave them enough to dig, and so that means that they could take the gray. If they lose the gray, it will be a lot more difficult for their game plan, especially their center town.
So Team Europe sitting, thinking, they have a lot of power. Oh, there goes the priest.
So we see the first power action in this, the second one, because Chaos started with the dig, which does put them a little less flexible in terms of passing. And now that Team Europe has spent a power action on priest, it seems like Chaos will not be able to outlast. And so that means the stronghold bonus tile is likely going to fall to Witches.
They're happy with that.
That's pretty huge for Witches. Witches has 2 more moves, plus they can take a power action. So they have 3 moves. Darklings has 2, 3, could be 2, could be 3, could be 4. They could build a tempo, they could dig and not build, and then build, and then they still have another power action with all the power they've gained.
So if Team USA does not dig right now, Team Brazil ends up with double dig.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. But I'm not sure. I guess Team USA could dig
the two blues, since they have tempship. I mean, it's not great for them.
That does mean that like to use all their center buildings to form towns, they will need 2 bridges. That's a lot. Like I'd be more inclined myself to give up the dwelling on C3. Except that it might turn into the stronghold.
Yeah, they want to build their stronghold there.
That might be a problem here. I'm not sure what their best plan here is. The double dig is giving up a lot though. Like in terms of like they don't need it this round. They could just build 2
Yeah,
dwellings.
I mean if they do it, then they actually won't be able to build on probably C4, right? They don't have enough, so they wouldn't be fully utilizing their tempship.
Right. Do they have more power? They do have more power incoming. So one consideration is, could they take... no, I think what they do want is, they do want coins. But there is 7 coins like lying right there. And someone's gonna... But they also want to land on Darkling's tile. So, okay. Went the route of denying. And another thing they might be considering is whether to build or not. And I think they don't build. Yep. Because they need 2 more moves. This does give them a little less flexibility. Do they still get Darkling's tile? I'm not sure. They might because they can take the bridge action. We might see them take a bridge action round 1. Because they have 2 more dwellings to build, and then Darklings might have 3 more moves. Or 4 more. But if Darklings only has 3 more moves, then that means Witches need to find another move, and that move might very well be building a bridge. I think Team Europe taking the Priest here was pretty good. Like, of course, Darklings usually take Priests, but the extra layer here is that taking a Priest is actually 2 moves because they're taking the Priest and sending it to Cult, or for Darklings taking the Priest and dig and not build and then build, so it's like 3 extra moves. And Darklings, they're sitting on the big building tile, and what they do not want is for any of their opponents to land on there. So like they started as the first player, but they also want to like have the most number of actions so that no one gets the worker boost plus the 4 points.
It doesn't seem like Brazil has enough moves to last them out. So I wonder if they're just going to go for, and just cut their losses and pass as soon as possible. Get the 7 money scroll.
Yes, that would. Yep, they did come to the same conclusion there and build their dwelling, but they're not going to pass they're not going to get the money. I'm afraid. I think Chaos is going to hop on that. Chaos could also hop on Priest though, but they will need a lot of money to fund their next couple of actions. They will need 8 for the Stronghold, and then they need 8 more for 2 ships. So I think we're going to see Chaos pass on to money. Oh, and Team Europe has taken the money
Darklings.
action. Which means that, I don't think anyone is going to land on the big building scroll. So that's like really good planning by Team Europe here.
I wondered if Team Brazil should have actually taken that money.
It's a little awkward because by denying Team Brazil, by denying Team Europe extra actions, what that's going to cause is for Team USA to maybe pick up the big building scroll, and Brazil is not going to be happy about that either. Right. So I think everyone in this case is trying to deny Witches the big building scroll, and I think it's working. That might make Witches regret this double dig action right here, because Witches is going to be short on workers and coins for their stronghold next round. And we're expecting like, they have power, so they could take a power action with one and land on the big building scroll with the other. Except they're going to get denied the big building scroll, and and then they don't have power for money, and well, I guess they will have power.
So
for
they
money,
need
but they
9 money.
They need
and 2 more workers somehow.
They need 9 money and 2 workers. They need
actually,
9.
if they're gonna build a dwelling now, then they're actually gonna need.
They need 9 total money, so they need 6 more money.
Right.
So the scroll, which is gone, the power action will give them that. And they will have the power because Darkling is going to get them 2. The question is whether they get the action or not. Because we might see Nomads take the action. You see, Nomads has 6 workers, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
So Nomads need money. So Nomads is going to start with the money power action to build their stronghold, right? I think that's a very strong plan. So if Nomads start money power action to build their stronghold, and then
let's see. So what do chaos
which
do?
is not chaos. Oh, are you saying chaos might start money action?
Yeah.
Well, chaos
What
is
do
not
they
gonna,
do besides build their big building? Is
true. Chaos might start. I'm not sure.
they want a lot of money.
They don't have to use their power action. They could save it. They could like increase ship once, and then they could save their power action for dig next round or something.
Dig next round? Round 3?
Dig, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, if they can...
It's true that they don't have many places to dig, but if they can somehow... They could take money. If they... especially with his influx of power, they could take money plus priest, and then go sanctuary, and then go increase ship twice and pass. That's also pretty strong. And I think Witches is going to regret taking this double dig. I think that will mean they give up their stronghold, and I'm not sure if it was worth it. I'm not sure if it's the Witch's stronghold is just such a strong building.
Yeah, especially since they could have just built those 2 dwellings anyway. It does seem like a lot to give up.
Mm-hmm. It does.
For not
the other reason I'm against it is because it doesn't even carve out town space very well. Because I don't think like their ideal plan would be to carve out town spaces that need bridges. So it's a little awkward all around that like they have these extra greens that they can't really take advantage of without giving up quite a substantial amount of scoring.
I mean, with this lineup, though, I think bridge towns is unavoidable. You're not really going to get neighbor in that northern town space anytime soon.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, except for chaos. Except for chaos.
Yeah, chaos.
They will go before A9. You're right. Okay, never mind.
Well, I mean, this is really banking on chaos executing their game plan, right? So we're placing a lot of faith in Zoras here. Like, please, and Team Canada, like, please find a way to shift yourself all the way across the map, so we get a couple of neighbors to build our trading posts. Which I have good faith that like Team Canada will find a way to do that. But they could also find another line that is just as good as them and doesn't involve giving Witches neighbors. So like it's pretty dangerous placing your fate in. So that's like, I guess that's true that Witches does have this neighbor problem, which was exacerbated by Darklings not starting the east.
Yeah, so it looks like Team Europe put their priest occult to the fire cult for some worker influx later on. Do you think that that's better than just digging E4 and having a dwelling there?
I'm a little worried about that, and the reason for that is Team Europe is only going to have 4 workers next round. So after they build a sanctuary, they're done. And we are thinking that Nomads is going to sandstorm, is going to have the ability to sandstorm next round, right? So leaving that blue there is asking for trouble to some degree. And Yeah. Well, although Europe just hopped onto the spade action.
Ooh, Team Canada takes money.
Yep. So they are going to take priest power action, probably to follow up, and then go double ship. And then build their sanctuary. That's a pretty strong start for Team Canada. I guess the worry now is if their hexes will still be there. Because we'll already see one red disappear. That red is pretty awkward to disappear. And then there's not a lot of yellows that they can take. So I think it's a very strong plan though, especially if they have a fast turn, which they might. Like if they just increase one ship, for example, if they just increase one ship and their sanctuary, then they can hop onto the dig pass scroll. And that's really strong.
The dig pass scroll.
I'm sorry, the ship pass scroll. The ship
pass scroll.
Yeah, the
yes.
ship.
Yes,
ship
that
scoring.
would be really, really good.
Yep. Yeah, and then they could go up to 3 ship next round, and then they could put out 4 dwellings.
Let's see.
Yeah. And so I'm liking Team Canada's position a lot. It's dangerous. It's dangerous, but I think they can they might run into a couple of tightrope situations. But I'm liking their position. And we see Team Europe take the dig scroll, but they don't have the worker for it. So I'm not sure what they're planning to do. Are they planning to Are they planning to send a priest to get 2 power and
So they did take an early water one.
But that's only because the earth ones are gone. So we saw nomads take the earth one. They didn't think fire one is as necessary as earth one. I guess Darklings will get an influx of power from chaos upgrading. So I guess that's okay, maybe.
So they're hoping to take worker power,
or just convert. It's not. It's a really awkward way to use resources, especially since next round they're getting the influx of workers. So I think last round I would have just dug, even though sending a priest to codes was a little enticing. I think I would have bitten the bullet and just the E4.
Yeah, I think I would have too, especially since you're not getting these workers until the end of this round, and working or digging E4 and building a dwelling gets you those workers anyway.
If we're converting power to a worker now, then in some sense we're losing 3 coins, right? We're losing 3 power at both 3. It could be more. It could be we're losing whole coin action because of that down the road. So, and we gain, by sending the priest to fire, we gain 2 coins, we gain 2 workers, we gain maybe 2 to 4 points, I guess. It's hard to say.
So I guess now they put their priest to water, get 3 power.
Yeah. No, we also gain flexibility.
Oh, never mind.
Nomads is going for the sanctuary. Okay, that's
they went sanctuary fire 1.
That's interesting. Yeah. I guess they. It could be that they had a 2-way plan going. If they got the coin power action, then they go for stronghold. But because they don't have the coin power action, they go for sanctuary. Or it could be that they were going for sanctuary all along.
Yeah, they have tons of power in bowl 3, so they could very, very easily have afforded that.
This is. This is. I think this is good. This is good. What was I? Right, I guess if Darklings predicted that Nomads was going to go Sanctuary, then that means their E4 is not their threat, and they could potentially dig and leave it there. I think we're going to see Nomads pass on to the ship, temp ship, and open with double dig. Open with double dig and build 1, 2, 3, 4 dwellings in the dig round. In the dwelling round, that's really strong. Put out all their dwellings except for the last one.
Yeah. No, that seems pretty solid.
I'm liking Nomad's position here too. I guess they will have a little trouble with town space potentially later on. They have their sanctuary town. They have their southern town if witches don't take the 2 greens with a bridge. And they have their northern town. Maybe the problem with the northern town is A6 is going to go to Chaos Magicians. So they will have to do some wonky things there. It's not just a simple matter of digging A6, A7.
Right.
The thing about Nomads getting temp ship is they could really punish Chaos here by taking E6. I'm sorry, D6.
B6.
Yeah. Like, that might just kill Chaos's game on the spot to some degree. Well, I mean, that could just kill their game. That is so many
trapped,
for them
right in the center.
Yeah, I'm really worried. Yeah, I'm not liking Witch's position here. I think they're in trouble.
I mean, taking D6 would really, really hurt Chaos. But I mean, B2, E3.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Those are much better for them.
They could leave E3. They could leave E3 for later. I mean, that, like, Dark Kings will probably get around to messing with them by then. So it might be a trade-off here, like securing their own space, or because even if they took E3, Darkling has the resources to reach. Do they have 3 digs? They will have 3 digs. So Darklings has the resources to like cover up the Eastern with all the hexes they want. Darklings wants E2, D2. They want E2. They want E4, and Darklings will be able to take all 3 of these next round. Mm-hmm. And I predict they will. And they have 3 workers, so that's where they build. No, they can hop back onto the sanctuary tile, so they can build 4 workers. I guess not in time, maybe.
Yeah.
Witches have. Well, no, they might be able to do it because Chaos.
Oh, Witches took ship points.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
yes.
Looks like they're pivoting.
Yeah, I'm saying, like, I think Witches is in trouble here. Not sure. I guess next round they increase ship twice. They take coin. They increase ship twice, and they build 4 dwellings.
They grab I6 and H4 both, which puts Nomads in a bit of a tricky position.
Yeah, and then they grab. It also puts Witches in a little tricky position in that they get all the Eastern greens, but I'm not sure if they have like easy way to put it into a town yet. Like it's not clear yet. They will need to spend a little more effort to putting it into a town.
Are we predicting 1 ship or 2 ship? Because 2 ship gets them a lot of dwellings too.
Yes, I'm predicting 2 ship. I think.
2 ship.
Coin power action that gets them to 13. It's actually not quite enough, right? Not enough coins. They will have to spend extra power on coins.
So I guess that does leave single dig to Chaos, which is good.
Mm-hmm. Yes, they will need.
So they'll take B4, A9.
All the digs they can get with.
So are we thinking that Nomads just never build their stronghold this game? I guess at some point, if they do get the big building scroll, they might.
Yes. I'm thinking it's a little awkward. They kind of need it to carve out town space. But yeah, I'm not sure what's a good time for them to build it. It's so expensive. Could be the town round. They could do it during the town round.
Yeah, because they are going to be able to dig like F2, and then there's going to be a couple in the northern town that they're going to need with the stronghold, the sandstorm. I mean, they're not getting I6, right? Which means maybe they go for G1, or do they just give up on these 2 dwellings altogether? Okay. So Yeah, maybe they have to just give up on G1. That's a lot of digging, although they are going up Earth. So they can expect probably a double dig at the end of round 5. Going into the dwelling round, maybe this is just a 2-town nomads game. And they use those 2 double digs to just span out a bunch of dwellings last round. All right, and now we have another update from Lizzie, who is coming live at you from the Driller.
Hi, Jekyll. I have a report from Team USA. So I was able to talk to them about how their game is going so far. They're pretty happy with it right now. They said that being able to get the double dig was great because they were also able to get Earth 1. So getting those together was a great move for them. I did talk to them about their opening with the double center opening. They said that they did it to put pressure on the Chaos Magicians. They wanted to force them to build on E7 sooner than maybe the Chaos Magicians wanted to, which, as we can see, that gambit worked perfectly. And also, it allowed the witches space to expand to the east. So that was the reasoning behind that double center opening.
Great. Thank you for your input.
Thank you, Lizzie.
That's my report. I will talk to you guys soon.
All right, see you later. All right.
It's too bad halflings are not in this game because I love that Lizzie just strode out of nowhere to give us a report from Team USA.
Yeah, it was hard to hear with all that construction noise going on in the background.
Well, the digs did turn out to be pretty important in this game, so that is very on theme. You see, Team Europe put their spade to D2. It's not clear if they're going to go at. I don't think they're going to build on there. I think they're going to hop back onto the big building squirrel. So maybe Team Canada is thinking about denying them that and hopping over immediately. Especially because the ship scoring was taken by witches.
Right. Although waiting for Team Europe to pass so they can get the dig scroll is pretty good too.
Yes, like it's not immediately clear if they can afford to take go after that 4 points when the dig scroll probably gives them another place to put a dwelling, and so it's also 4 points. I mean, they do get extra workers from the big building square and all that, but it could very well be that they need to dig much more, especially since they would like to take C2 also to make sure that that town is ready to go later. Mm-hmm. And witches could dig C2, like on a whim. Which like C2 doesn't do anything with witches, but it does blow up Chaos's town, take them like out of it.
Who do we like so far? I mean, yes, the Chaos plan seems pretty solid.
Mm-hmm.
Darklings, of course, look strong as always.
Everyone is enacting their plan, but also everyone has a couple of washouts, I guess. Like for Chaos, their reds are disappearing. For Nomads, they might have trouble finding the right town spaces. For Witches, they need bridges to form their towns as it's currently set up. So maybe I like Darklings playing the most by virtue of them not having huge problems at the moment.
Yeah, and we see now that Nomads did not take D6, so Chaos can breathe easy.
Take them a while to ship over there though, but I think that's what they're doing. Will they have enough money though?
So they need 8. They have 6 left over for 1, 2, 3 dwellings.
Yeah, or they could increase ship 3 times and build dwellings.
3 times. Oh, okay. Just go D6 straight from that side. That seems a lot, given that they don't even have the ship scroll.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They could very well pass on to the ship scroll next round, though. Nomads with their 10th ship this round, I don't think they're going to be increasing ship anytime soon. I guess Darklings might not want to increase ship either because next round's a trading post round. I think that's where they're going to be putting out their resources. Darklings also has a ton of resources. Like I missed that they were getting 2 workers from Fire last round. So I think I like Darklings plans a lot.
Darklings look really solid.
Engine going.
And, I think like not starting in the east was really good, especially with TP dwelling next round or TP round next round. Like they have plenty of spots for TPs.
Yes, that's a great point. And then I guess the question is now how many TPs are Darklings going to build next round? 3 maybe? They will cut off their worker production to some degree, but I could see them building because after they build 2 more dwellings this round, they will have 4 workers left. Next round they produce 7, so that gets up to 11 workers. So they could spare like 3 TPs and a temple for Air 1.
Yeah, let's see. Let's think about the Water 1 race and who is going to be missing out.
Yes. Who will, I don't think anyone's building a trading post to claim that early this round, which means that it's like a huge money sink too. Like people are going to have to build a TP followed by a temple that's 8 coins and then followed by more TPs. Like it could very well be that a couple of the factions don't really even want Water 1 and they just build 3 TPs next round instead, which might be just as many for next round at least just as many points as putting Water 1 followed by building TPs.
Yeah, I mean, with no TP scroll in the game, I guess it's not really about the TPs this game. It's just the dwellings are the big point scoring rounds.
Yeah, and I guess that is the dent to Darkling's position. Like we're talking about how every faction sort of has something to worry about in the back of their mind, and what Darklings has to worry about is they don't have the dwelling favor. So in the final round, if every faction can get their economy really going and then get a ship up and just build 4 or 5 dwellings, 5 might be 3 or 4 dwellings, and if Darklings also build 3 or 4 dwellings, that's still a 6 to 8 point differential there.
Yeah, and the other problem is, once they build first they're going to have to hold back from building out all their TPs so that they don't accidentally town up. But then after the town round, I see the 2 towns are very clear. I don't think they're getting a 3rd town.
I think they will, just by sheer amount of resources that the Darklings will have.
So what are they, digging it out in the south?
Maybe in the south, maybe they could dig out 6 dwellings in the south to put a town there. Because I'm thinking next round we're doing, for Darklings, we're doing 3 TPs and a temple.
So they'll just have a bunch of priests kind of saved up.
Yeah, and then for round 5, I'm thinking we do 2 more TPs to round out the 2 towns. And then you have 7 dwellings left that you get to put out. Just build a 7 dwelling town in the south for round 6.
But not a lot of workers.
And that's true. They might need to build a couple of the dwellings ahead of time, but I'm thinking something along those plans.
Yeah, and I guess at some point if they can get the ship scroll, that would be really good for them.
Yeah, I think they will have enough money to fund the ship increase. And they have the priests to fund the ship increase too, I think. So yeah.
So it looks like Team Canada will end up with single dig. They'll dig B4, A9, build on D6. Oh, and they have a bunch of... Oh, I think we forgot to include... how did they end up with so many workers?
Team Canada, I think they also got... they got one
the
more
big building scroll.
Big building scroll and one more from Fire. Team Canada does have a little bit of a prioritization problem here. They could build... Can they build 5? No, they can build 4 more dwellings. They can build 4 more dwellings at the risk of leaving C2 untouched. Right. So... because now Nomads does have pressure to take C2 for their town. Especially, I think Darklings could very well dig F2. Like Darkling, for the Nomad Sanctuary, there's only one spot left there, and that's a green. So Nomads is going to have a very hard time taking that until they get their stronghold out. But excuse me, I think Darklings is going to do 3 TPs next round and a temple, and then round 5 they're going to start by digging the green and putting a dwelling there to form their town. Which will
gives them access to the south.
Yes, with just one ship. So Darkling only needs to go up one ship this game, and they can spend all their other priests on digging. Which it depends on how much access they have to ship scroll, which is probably not a lot by now because Team USA wants it, Team Canada wants it. So I think that looks like a very good plan to me, and it bombs the Nomad Sanctuary town.
Yeah, no, I see that. And by putting pressure on Nomads, they can put pressure on Chaos. It does seem...
Yes, that triggers... Right, the reason I brought that up was that triggers Nomad into taking C2, which then blows up Chaos's town. And it's not even good for Nomads, because Nomads need to bridge there to town, which is... they take a hex that they need 2 digs, and then they need a bridge afterwards. That's not good at all. And yeah, I'm not sure how Nomads deal with this. I'm not sure how Nomads can ever get to F2 in time.
Not to mention, they also, I mean, I think you were away when I was talking about this, but G1 is the only way now, I think, for a town in the south.
Yes, because
which is also a bridge town. Yes. So yeah, I like Darkling's position the most. But even though they're a little lagging in points at the moment, but I think they will make up a very good amount next round. And we're looking at a lot of bridge towns now.
Yeah, for everyone but Darklings. That's the other thing I like about Darklings. They have no bridge pressure. Their 2 town spots are already carved out, and then their 3rd one, they're I'm still thinking they really could just put 7 dwellings in the bottom. And no one's going to be able to disrupt that with the number of priests that Darkling is going to have incoming.
That's a lot of priests they're going to need, though.
Yeah. But I'm thinking, so next round they're going to have 3. And I'm thinking 2 trading posts at temple. So they're going to have 3 more around 5 and 3 more around 6. So they'll have 11 and maybe 2 priests from the towns. They're going to have that's going to be 11 digs. That'll be enough to get them to all the dwelling placements.
All right.
So Chaos did use single dig to take B4, so that's what they're prioritizing. And I think so. They're going to build 3 more dwellings this round. Maybe 4, but it will involve burning power down to 4, which I'm not sure burning power down to 5. Yeah, which I'm not sure, or 4, which I'm not sure they want to do. They have just enough money to build 3 dwellings, which I think that's what they're going to stop at, just 3 more dwellings next round. And
D6, D7.
Yeah.
Just leave A9 for some other future point.
Yep. And I'm going to predict we're going to see Chaos hard dig C2 next round. Because they're not going to have a ton of money, and they're not going to have a ton of power, which they will need to save for money. I guess they will have power, but they're not going to have a ton of money, so that means they want to spend their power as money. So I think we're going to see Chaos hard dig C2 next round to secure that spot. And then I think Nomads is in trouble. I don't think their score as it stands is high enough, because they could do a ton of trading posts next round, but they don't have water 1, so it's going to be a little limited, and they're going to be left in the cold for round 5, the town scoring.
And we see Darklings build a TP.
Okay, that's not what I guess I wasn't expecting that. It could be that they need the money, because the previous plan I was talking about was 3 TPs and tempo next round, which involves 14 money. And by building a TP first, they get 2 extra money, so that cuts that down to 12 money. And right now they have 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I guess they're going for the extra temple.
Oh.
Yeah, that makes sense. And they're going for water too. Wow, that's spicy. This is an extra priest, so they're going to have a ton of priests. Wow, this is spicy.
Yeah, I guess they really do want to.
Yeah, I'm not sure what their plan is now. They might want to build more. They might want to build a town next round. I don't think so. But they might be going for like a more expansionary plan and give up the. Because if they build a town next round with a TP, they lose the 5 town points, but they gain the 3 TP points. So it's kind of a wash in that regard. So I think we might see Team Europe build a town next round. It also building a town might involve taking F2, so that will just blow up Nomads' town 1 turn earlier.
Yeah, I don't think Nomads can really prevent that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. I think Darklings is a little short on money though. That tempo, it gets them 2 extra priests, but it did come at a cost of all their coins. So yeah, it's going to be I'm not sure what their plan is in prioritizing this, and I'm very eager to find out if they're building 2 TPs or 3 TPs. I think at least 2, could be more.
I mean, taking water to, I wonder if they're trying to go culty and just.
Mm-hmm. Yes, that also makes sense. Mm-hmm. Because the cults that play out as we were talking about with the 4 priests to the 3 spots, and then no one else cares about it because everyone's too busy increasing their shipping.
Mm-hmm.
So Darklings could be looking at this and thinking like, oh, they have a good shot to fight for some of the cults.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Tukey Town will get them a ton of power, which would fund more TPs.
Mm-hmm. It does get them no cult rewards, which is the awkward spot. Mm-hmm. The other thing is they don't even need the Tukey Town to log up the water cult, probably. I don't think no one's... not sure. Chaos could send 2 priests to water and build a temple to get it, if they really wanted to, but that seems like a huge expense on their part.
Yeah, especially for, no cult rewards.
Mm-hmm.
If anything, they're probably going after the other.
Yes. So
Earth or air.
I think Darklings is not taking to Tukey Town. I don't think they need it to... Darklings might be just looking to secure 1.5 cults. If they take... we're just giving them water now, and they have 3 more steps from water 2, right? So if they put on all to fire, that probably gets them 2nd place, and that they might be content with that.
So I wonder, right now it does seem like as far as pass scrolls, everybody's kind of vying for the ship scroll. Right? Chaos really wants it. Maybe Darklings want it.
I think Darklings will want the big building scroll more. So,
yeah, you're right, because there's no way they have enough money to build TPs and so they're looking for that scroll a little bit.
But I think it's too late. They have to pass now. Or are they thinking about taking priest? So the problem is they won't have the money. I think they need all their power for money now. So I think they're just deciding on what to pass on. Because Nomads is going to open coin action. 3, 4, 5, 6, they only have 6 coins, so they're going to open coin action. And they are very ominously standing on the dig. The other thing they could open with is single dig plus 3 workers on C2. But I think the coin power action is just too important to fund their trading posts. So Nomads is going to take the dig. Okay, so Darklings take 10 ships, so they are going to the south. This round? Like, they will have to go there this round, right? Which means that I think we are seeing one Darkling town this round. I think we are seeing Darkling town. Well, no, maybe they are only building one TP next round. 5, 6. Because they don't have money. Yeah, because they don't have money. Like, I think we're going to see the dig on F2 and then the ship to the south.
So they'll need enough for 2 dwellings and a TP.
That's 7 coins. They have 5 coins, so they need 2 powerful coins. Yeah, so I think it might just be 1 trading post on the trading post round. A little awkward to have things turn out that way, maybe, but...
Especially since they're the only ones with water 1.
Yeah. I'm starting to think that I'm not sure if this Temple of Water 2 was worth it. It was very stylistic to get 2 priests off of that though. So there's definitely that consideration. But I'm not sure if this coin expenditure
5 priest income in round 4. Wow.
Wow. Yeah.
Too bad it's not a digging round.
So nomads take coin, Darklings dig green. Oh wow, they're digging. Whoa, what? No. Oh, they're not letting either opponent have this. Oh, that's so disgusting.
That's mean.
Yeah, I guess they could spend 1 dwelling. That's not ever going to be part of a town, though, right? And will they still have resources to build their 3rd town in the south? Not sure, because that was what I was angling for the whole time. I kind of want to build a 3rd town, but maybe Darklings can still do it. They do have a ton of resources. Oh my
god, witches are really happy with that.
Yes, it does lessen the bridge pressure, right? Or are they just happy that their opponents are they just lost?
Totally. Thank you, Darklings, for doing all the dirty work.
Yeah, they just lost 15 points off of that. And then they're going to take the green. This is disgusting.
Nomad's getting rocked.
They are going to take the green. Does Nomads want to take single dig plus 6 workers to turn it yellow? I don't think so, but I'm not sure. No. Oh, wait,
no. They have the dig scroll.
That's true. So Nomads is going to blow up 6 workers right now to turn that to yellow, right? And,
you think so?
Yeah, I think so. Because and Darklings doesn't really care about that because they could just because that lets them then build two TPs.
Okay.
Because
I guess maybe they're just giving up on that altogether and they're doing this town I7, I8, H5.
Yeah, they're giving up the 2 dwellings, but I don't know. Are they giving up the sanctuary? Or is Darklings never blowing up that sanctuary? The sanctuary town. No, if Darklings doesn't take it this round though, I think they'll still take it next round. So Team Canada just lost their town spot. They are in the lead in scoring though. They do have 63 points already, plus they have the ship. They have the pass tile incoming. Plus they can pass on to the big building scroll. They might have tempo to do that. So they could still have a ton of points here. It's just that they they don't have a town slot.
Are we looking at Fire 2, do you think, for Witches?
I think so. I think Witches has too few buildings on the board right now.
Yeah. They're probably, can they get to 8 spot on air?
No, I don't think they can.
So they'll have 1 free dig off the cult.
Mm-hmm.
I'm guessing, yeah, they're maybe, I guess, I mean, do you think they're just giving up on the bridge and just doing C4, B5, A10, A11?
I think they might have to.
Yeah.
Okay, so Nomads does have their strong. Nomads put down their stronghold. So that's that makes a lot of sense.
Okay.
That's how they're taking F2, and I think they're going to get. I don't know. It's up to Darklings. It's up to Darklings whether they want to take it now or not. Yeah, it's.
Oh, why didn't Witches take I6 last round?
Yeah, it's not part of their town, right? Like, I guess they could, but I think they were short of resources to build on one spot, and they just had to decide whether to build on town spots only or whether to disrupt Nomads. And as you said, like, Nomads might forego the bridge there. Like, they could just go I6, I7, I8, do their town there instead. It's not great, but it's maybe doable.
Right, depending on what Europe does. I guess if Europe does not take F2, they dig that now. And then next round, and then they have the dig scroll, so they'll dig I8 right now. Nomads. Oh.
I'm not sure I like this.
So they want their third town to be...
Yes, they're angling for their third town there.
I mean, that's pretty good. At least they have a neighbor.
Yeah.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
But it's a lot of digs. It's so many more digs compared to the southern town. I think the way I would have... maybe they're thinking that Team Brazil is too far behind at the moment, which does disrupt that spot. But Team Brazil is going to at least secure their sanctuary town, and their stronghold town can come from just the remaining spots there. So I think they're still okay. I think, I'm not too displeased with how Nomads' game is turning out. They can Sandstorm F2 build. They can dig I8 build.
With the dig scroll, yep.
Yeah, and then do they still have enough money for TP? They do. The awkward thing is they just only build one TP. But that's okay because they can just take the coin town next round. the dreaded coin town.
So Team USA, they're getting an end of round dig. They have to somehow double dig B5.
I think Team USA is only building one town next round. I don't think they have nearly enough resources to do two. Maybe it's the sanctuary town for Fire 2. Like, they could do the trading post next to Nomad Stronghold and just sanctuary for Fire 2, and that's their one town this round. And then maybe they can, and I think that'll give them enough to eke out 2 more towns for the final round. They are very short on coin. They took the coin score this round, and they are down to already 1 coin already. Like, where's all their money? Yeah, the coin shortage is hitting. It's hitting Witches, I think, the hardest. It's also hitting the other teams though. And because Darklings did not prioritize putting out TPs, I think we're going to see someone prioritize passing on to the 6 coin squirrel, maybe. The other scrolls do have like some number of coins on them, and I think a couple of the coin towns, at least one of the coin towns is going to get taken.
Yeah, I'm guessing Witches do everything they can to get 2 towns next round.
It's going to be a lot. Right? Like, they need their sanctuary, they need their TP, which they're building this round. So I think they need sanctuary. They need 2 more digs.
2 more digs, 1 more TP, and 2 dwellings.
1 more, yeah, that's so much. I don't think they can afford it. Even by sheer work, for worker counts, they have 12 workers. 12 workers, sanctuary is 4, 2 dwellings is 2, 4, 5, 6.
8. And then a TP.
TP is 8, so they have a hard dig. Okay, I think, that's true. Or they could bridge instead. They could bridge. They could bridge instead, which will count as 3 coins. So they need 6 coins for the sanctuary plus 7, 8, plus 9, 10, 11. They just need 11 coins. Okay, I think, they can do that by taking a coin town with the sanctuary. And that makes sense.
And as far as what Chaos is up to, I guess they were going to want a bridge town, D6, C5, D7.
Mm-hmm.
And they're passing first, so they will get the bridge, no problem. So they just need to build, and they'll get their end of round dig.
Yeah, it's such an awkward town because their sanctuary is gone.
Oh, shoot, you're right. Okay. So they have to...
I like how much score they already have, but they're not doing great on codes. They don't have town space. I'm not sure if this is enough points. It's kind of hard, like especially when all these points are coming in. Like is it 20 points coming in for the other players, or is it like 40 points? Like it's pretty hard to predict how many more points like Darklings have in the tank with their 2 towns, Witches with their 2 towns plus 1 more on round 6 probably, and Nomads with their towns. I think Darklings is going to put out another TP, so that will bring them down to 4. I think they can afford to put out another TP.
Oh.
Is Chaos taking... I'm not sure if Chaos even takes Bridge here. It's not... Because even with Brood, I don't think Chaos has the town spot. This is...
So they're just going to hope for one more town and 1 town Chaos in round 6.
Mm-hmm. But their score is a little scary just looking at it right now. So maybe Darklings was correct to target them. It's hard to say.
Because that was a triple dig for Darklings is very costly, and a dwelling that doesn't get them towards a town.
I think the F2 hoping to trigger the domino effect might be better. Like hoping Nomads find it's necessary to take C2 and shut out Chaos that way. Because that forces Nomad to still need to put out a bridge, and it's still like if Nomads cooperates, it still blows up Chaos's town. And the thing is, it lets Darkling build a southern town, which is a lot more accessible. Like a lot of the hexes there just need 1 dig for Darklings. It's pretty easy to score there around 6, like getting to build a bunch of dwellings. Darklings has 3 more priests incoming each round, so they have 7 priests just by their structures, and probably 1 or 2 more from forming towns. So we'll say they have 8 digs. Is 8 digs enough to finish the north of the town? 1, 2,
that's just enough.
That's true. All right.
One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Can we just build out a 3rd trading post? Do they want to? I think they all have enough workers. They go down to 3 workers. I think witches are building the 3rd trading post. They'll leave them with 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 workers next round, which is enough for sanctuary plus single dig plus dwelling, and that means they will need to bridge. but at least they have their money secured to some degree. And the witches will probably get to pass on to ship scroll, because nomads is not going to be able to use that. Darklings probably not. They need all their money to build more TPs next round. So witches will get ship scroll, plus they will get the 2 towns, as you said, if they get a bridge. If they don't get a bridge, it's a little dicier. I don't think they have enough raw material to. If they get double dig though, is that enough? They get double dig because they need 3 digs there. One's coming from the air coat. If they get double dig, they put out 2 dwellings there, and then they need a TP, so that's 7 coins. Plus they need.
But we think they're building a TP right now. That will make double dig very tricky.
That's true. Yeah, that makes sense. They're building a TP on A9 right now, so they just need double dig plus 2 dwellings. That's 4 coins. Plus the sanctuary is 6 coins, so they need 10 coins, and they'll have 6 coming in from their TPs. So I think that's enough. They probably take the coin town first. They take the coin town into maybe like the ship town. And then for round 6, they just like dig all the way down and build a 3rd town there. Yeah, that's a lot of points.
That is a lot for round 6.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they have Earth 1. Darklings is the one without Earth 1.
Darklings take ship points.
Okay, I guess I was I was wrong about witches having easy access to that. Yeah, I think Darklings might be trying to fight too many battles at once here, because I don't think the ship scroll is gonna do much for Darklings. It's 3 power plus 2 points. If they
especially with 3 power and 2 coins and a worker just sitting there.
Or does it give them the money action? Is that the consideration? Yeah, but they could just take it does give them 4 power and both 3, so that gives them their choice of like if Chaos doesn't take money, they get money. They might not need money.
What is Chaos taking?
Is it worth 2 coins and a worker? I don't think so. So I think this is really a blocking move for witches.
All right, and now we have LizzytheLlama reporting from the Driller for Europe.
Hi, yes. I have a report from Team Europe. I'm here at the Driller. You know, these construction noises are,
it's
pretty
hard
loud
to hear
here.
you.
Yeah, we do see you're digging very, very hard, so that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, the halflings over here, they're really hard workers. But anyway, so Team Europe, they have been playing pretty aggressively, as we can see. I asked them about their decision to take C2. They said that they decided to take C2 to destroy the Chaos Magicians and win the game.
The Chaos
Absolutely, just destroy the Chaos Magicians. That's what they wanted to do. They also really wanted to hurt the Nomads game by taking that space near the Nomads, by taking A4. So Team Europe is really
mean. Really mean today. They have their
they're really trying to take spaces from these guys. They actually, Team Europe had some shade to throw on the Nomads.
Really?
They said, and I quote, "Nobody likes Nomad's position."
No.
They said that Nomad's not building a stronghold early enough has lost the game for them. So I guess we'll see if that ends up being true. Some more things they said. They said their player Zivok. They said he's on fire. Apparently, it was Zivok's idea to take water 2 and quote win all the points.
Win all the points. Well, they do have all 8 points on water coat, so yes.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
They also their plan right now. They're just connecting with only one ship, and they think that's a fantastic plan for them. Just being able to connect everything with only one ship is going to work out great for them. And they're planning on building a third town up in the north at A4, A3, A2, and A1, which still will be connected by only one ship. So it seems like their game plan is going great, and they're having a lot of fun trying to knock the other teams down a peg.
Yes,
All
definitely.
right.
All right, that's all from me. I've got to get back to the halflings construction over here. So
All right,
I'll
thanks,
talk to you guys
Lizzie.
soon.
Thank you, Lizzie.
Yes. So Team Europe keeping the battle going, not just on the Terra Mystica board, but also with their trash talk.
True. Also on the trash talk front. Gotta win multiple fronts. And we see them taking the ship scoring away from witches.
From witches.
Yeah, they are fighting. They are really fighting the battle on every front they can find.
But I mean, nomads don't look so bad. Now we can see 2 towns. For a little bit there, we were wondering where. I mean, I guess they were always going to get 1 town, but that only became clear once they built their stronghold. It just goes to show just how important the nomad stronghold is.
Let's see. Witches does have double dig, so I think Chaos probably takes coin. Yeah, Chaos needs that coin too much. That leaves double dig to Witches, and Team Europe did not get to pick up the coin action as probably they hoped, passing on to exact power for both 3. So Team Europe is going to start out with the town building, and does the 2 key town look good here? It might. I think if I'm Team Europe, I just take 2 of the 8-point towns though.
8-point towns, yeah.
Yeah, because
It's a little late for a 2 key town.
Yeah, I agree. And then the two 8-point towns is just as strong. They only need 1 of the, or they might not even need it. They could just take a priest town too. But the 8-point town could score them, they could win the fire cult with 2 of those plus 2 more steps. And I think they start by taking fire. They start by taking fire too.
Okay. Oh, okay. I think because in the northern town they actually wouldn't be able to get it without an expensive TP.
Ah, I see. Are they building?
In fact, they wouldn't even have enough
Yeah.
TPs. Yeah.
And then that does and we do
So
see
2
them
8-point towns.
take the 2 8-point towns. Wow, yeah, that move is really strong. Having tempo, because the worry about taking only forming 1 town is that when you take the 8-point town, someone else will take it and sort of negate that negate that race between you and that person. But by taking fire 2 and grabbing both of those at once, this is huge. This is
very
huge.
strong.
Yep. And then they have plenty of resources to sink into their last town on round 6. They're going to need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 workers. They have 10 workers. So right now, Team Europe.
They probably want to build a TP.
Yeah, Team Europe's game plan is pretty much set, and they just need to find a way to maximize the rest of the score from their resources. I do want to double check that they are able to finish digging. They will have to do some digs this round too, because they have 4 priests and they have 4 more incoming. So they will need to spend at least 3 of their priests this round to do some digging. And probably in a way that minimizes the likelihood of disruption from nomads. So I'm thinking they could dig the green and dig the yellow, and maybe probably not build.
Are they going to take their... I guess they're sitting on the ship scroll, so they want to do their 1 ship right now.
That's true. They want to do their 1 ship, which did they just do? They did just do.
Yep, they just did it.
And then probably build a TP, and then send 2 priests to dig, and then round out the next round with 4 dwellings, forming 5 dwellings, forming their last town. And does that even leave them competitive on network? If they build a TP and the next round they build 4 dwellings, that gets them down to 4 structures left. That's pretty competitive, especially since we see that Chaos and even Witches, they're having not that many structures on the board at the moment. Oh, I guess for Witches, I think I'll take that back. They do seem like they'll be able to get a fair number of structures down. It's really Chaos that's having this trouble with not many yellows to dig, with the reds gone, and with even the gray gone. Witches is going to form that town as you predicted on the north. So they will do the 2 towns. Yeah, they will do the 2 towns this round, and another one incoming next round. Nomads is also going to get 2 towns that will require a hard dig. For Nomads might just leave it at 1 town this round and another one next round. And they might be able to make up their score by some other ways, like maybe water 1 at this point. It's a little awkward, but that might be where they're going. Tempo for water 1, finish out their town. And then next round, build a couple more tempos to free up their dwellings and build a couple more dwellings.
They're going to need some ship.
That's true. They also need a Grace 2 ship. I'm not sure if... I think they'll have enough resources to do it with still 2 more towns incoming. And a good amount of resources at the moment. I think they can spare that tempo. So I think that might be Brazil's plan. For USA, they're doing their 2 towns. For Europe, they're building their... talk about Europe. I guess back to Chaos. What's Chaos up to? A couple of dwellings.
I guess they're just working on their single town.
A couple of dwellings. Could they increase a dig? I'm not sure if they'll be able to do that.
Oh man, they're not even like doing that well on cults.
Yeah. Yeah, Chaos has been having a really, like the way the things panned out, not sure if they could have like it could be that Chaos was just very bad in this setup and the players correctly identified it. And it's possible that we did not like maybe it's more. Maybe Chaos should have had a even larger lead to start. But I think E2, the thing with C2 is that was very likely going to get taken. Even if Darklings didn't take it, Nomads kind of wanted it. And then even Witches, if Witches had an abundance of resources lying around and decided that Chaos was their target, they could take it too. So that was just...
It seemed a little unlikely with Witches. I mean, they have so many digs they still need in the East.
Mm-hmm. I think this goes back to there was a turn where Chaos passed onto the big building scroll, and you were saying that they might just want to let Darklings get that so they could take their dig. That might have been the critical decision because they were missing 1 dig, the dwelling round for round 3. If they had the dig scroll plus the single dig they got from the action, they could build B4 and they could build C2, and that might have been the key there. So Team Europe has already taken Team Canada in points, in raw number of score. And they have all that left in the tank. I think they're looking at a very good game here. Winning 2 coats as Darklings while only sending Darklings getting the 2 8-point towns is just so strong. That was anyone getting the 2 8-point towns is so strong because it's the 2 key town. It's the 2 key town plus 11 points, except you get more than 11 points. It's the equivalent of a 2 key town plus a 14-point town. So just imagine how strong the 2 key town already is, and then being able to get a 14-point town in addition to that.
So we see Darklings using their Water 2 cult step on Earth to get another dig. End of round dig this round. Chugging along on their northern town.
That's reasonable.
Team USA about to get 2 towns with their Sanctuary Fire 2. What towns do they want?
Sanctuary Fire 2, and they also got I guess they achieved all of that without because they took the bridge. They took the bridge, so they achieved all of that without the coin town. So they could take two very strong towns too. But I think they will want to build their final town in the east next round. So we might still see them take a coin town, especially since they also need to increase ship by one more. But I think Rainier does have a big distaste for the coin towns, so you probably avoid that at all costs. No, he did take that.
There it is.
There is the coin town. It makes sense. They need a little more, I think, to increase ship to 3, and then take 3 more hexes, and it might involve an expensive. Well, I guess it's not an expensive trading post because they could build a trading post elsewhere, and they do need a lot of digs though. Are they going to be able to do it?
Not the vertical one.
The tricky thing here is that these are all single digs one after the other. So it's not like they can take a double dig and take out 2 at once. Yeah. They will need 3 single digs for this town, which I think they actually have. They could hard dig once this round, or they could take a spade action, and then they could just hard dig 2 more times. Yeah. Their plan is to build 1 TP and 4 dwellings. That's 6 workers.
2, 3, 4,
right?
5, 6.
So.
And it's dwelling round. So.
Yes. So they only need 6 workers.
They only have 2 dwellings out.
Oh, that's true. No, that's true. So it's I guess that complicates things. Maybe they're thinking about taking Air 1 because they might need to free up a couple more dwellings. So this goes back to building on I6. The awkward thing about building on I6 is that that takes up one of their dwellings.
Mm-hmm. Right, because they can build an expensive TP. 1, 2.
They could build an expensive TP, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So they still will need 3 digs, right? They'll still need 3 digs, and then the resulting green at the very bottom just goes to waste to some degree. So maybe they will have to build I'm not sure if they will have enough resources to build a temple though.
All right, so right now the only 2 factions sitting on a pass scroll are Darklings and Chaos.
Mm-hmm.
And Witches pass immediately after Darklings.
Mm-hmm.
But Darklings have 3 priests that they can just take one at a time with.
That's true. Darklings might want to stall out Witches. They will need to spend at least 2 priests, as we talked about, because they're getting 4 more priests incoming next round. That is just so many points.
But Chaos is sitting on so much stuff, so it's not like It's not like can Darklings last out Chaos?
I don't think so.
Because they go immediately after Chaos.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think anyone is going to last out Chaos.
Yeah, they even have 2 priests.
But Chaos is kind of in trouble here. Their network is not good. Their cult is not good. Yeah, the surprising thing is that their cult is not good. They weren't able to. I think this goes back to the round where they had to spend all their priests on shipping, but they weren't able to. They weren't able to take the key red spots that they needed. And then, it's also quite common that Chaos gets out of their town, they take the 2 key town, which significantly boosts their cult situation. But even the 2 key town now is, without all the cult rewards though, it's not really worth it anymore.
Yeah, and they weren't really motivated to take it early because the rewards weren't that great.
So, I think Europe is doing what you pointed out. They're thinking if they can stall Witches, or they're thinking if they want, because if they just, so they might be thinking about how they want to spend their days. Like, do they want to dig both? Do they want to dig one at a time? Do they want to build another temple, which I think trading post? I'm sorry, I think they will. I think they will want to build their trading post this round. That still leaves them with plenty of workers.
So if they build their teepee, they will have 3 dwellings.
This is for witches.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, okay, I see. So it looks like they need to build an expensive teepee no matter what, right? It's not like they can just build a cheap teepee somewhere else and then afford 4 dwellings to make a 6-power town.
Yes, because they are missing the last dwelling. So yeah, that does make things a little awkward for them.
Yeah.
So and then they will need to do that ship, which takes up 4 more. I guess they could take the ship town at the end. Thing is,
So nomads take a power town.
nomads take a power town. They could be going for a double dig to build another town this round. I think that's what their plan is.
Okay, yeah.
So nomads will win network at least, but with this incoming town that gets them to 70 plus the town score, so maybe 80. Everyone's going to be like pretty close in points, but then we have like Darklings who's already winning 2 codes, doing fine in the other 2, and will put up a respective performance in network. We are still seeing them taking the power town. They might have missed on converting or something. Or it might have been a misclick on power town. It's not clear. It's 2 key town.
2 key town.
So if they already were winning the Earth code, and this might be like 2 points each on fire, on water, 1 point on air. It's like maybe 6 points, but it does give them the double dig. So we're not.
It got them 5 power.
I think. Yeah, it does give them the double dig for another town to follow. So there's that. It might be just as good as probably just better than the power town if that's what they need.
So they've got 2 end of round digs coming, and it's not like they can really use them to get more yellows.
I agree. I think that's just going to go to waste.
And they don't even have many dwellings to put out, because they're going to put out 1 now for their town. So they're going to have to build some TPs in order to get some dwellings out.
Yeah. Like they do have a lot of resources going into round 6, but the thing is they just don't have that many buildings left.
Oh, you know what? If they dig in the south, the brown and the red, the brown and the red in the south, then they can be connected with 1 ship. Everything.
Brown and the red. Wow, that's there's still that lone dwelling out there though on E9. But yes, that's a very amusing thing. Oh, I love that. I love that method of connecting. Yeah.
And not to mention, we still have the dwelling problem.
It's totally a Fakir's game in that once you do that. I think also Nomads is just going to be struggling for ways to put their resources to scoring in round 6. So like increased shipping is a fine way to score. Like 4 resources for 3 points, 5 resources for 3 points for 4 points. It's fun. And so Team Europe is going the stall method. I guess there is the outside chance that they hop onto Chaos's pass scroll. They did use up all their priests, like all the necessary priests they have to get rid of, so to speak. before next round starts because they get the 4 priests. But I do think that, and then they have this flexibility of building their trading post or not, which I think they prefer to, but it's certainly not necessary. They could also build 2 more trading posts, which is pretty good. Because they aren't short on workers, especially if they get to pass on to Chaos's thing, that the scroll, then they aren't short on workers. And that might just be what they're angling for, the 4 points from the big building scroll.
So from my count, Darklings do need 1 more priest, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
They have the bonus stake. Do you?
Oh, right. Okay, so
1, 2,
1
6.
of those.
So it's exact, right? It's exact.
Oh, wow.
They have
That's
4
right.
priests
Okay.
incoming, Nomads might be able to. No, it's not like Nomads can really mess up them because they don't need. Actually, Nomads could throw all their resources to mess with them if they wanted to, but it's not. It doesn't work.
Right, because yellow... Yeah, I guess they could dig. They could throw one of their end of round digs on the green. But...
Yeah.
So yeah, if I'm Nomads right now, what am I thinking I do to maximize points?
I don't know. They still have their town, and they probably just take the highest score, like Priest Town. The thing is, they don't even have ship yet. But they don't need to increase ship because they have 2 more places to build at the moment. And it's not like they're ever going to form a town. They have 2 more places to build, and they have a sandstorm. I guess they would like.
You
to
mean after? You mean after they increase 1 ship? Because right now they're at 0.
Right. I mean, if they don't increase the ship, their digs are going to go to waste. But they could just dig like F1, maybe turn it yellow, and then that will leave them with 3 places to build. No, they actually don't even need places to build anymore, because they're going to build their dwelling this round, and then they will just need to put out 2 more trading posts and 3 more dwellings next round. So they just need 3 places to build, and there's 2 yellows on the board, plus they'll have their sandstorm. So Nomads, they probably just take the highest scoring town, and then they finish building and increase ship. Like next round, they just increase ship, build 2 TPs, and build 3 dwellings. And they don't need a lot of resources for that. They need
2 TPs and 3 dwellings. So that's 6, 6, 12 plus another 8. So 20 money?
20 money. They have 5, 6, 7, 8. They have 8 money. Well, no, but they will have they'll have some from they'll have workers too. They'll have 10 workers, and they only need 7. So they have 3 extra workers to spare. They have 3 workers to spare, so that's that gets us up to 11. With the power, that gets us up to 13, and then whatever they pass on to is probably might just make up the difference. Like if they pass on to the priest and they send priest to cults, that's enough.
Okay.
They would need to spend 2 priests though. So, but I think they should probably just take either the priest town or the 11-point town, and I don't think they need any more leech or anything. It's like just barely, but I'm not sure if taking that leech they'll be able to convert it to points effectively next round. So we're not yet finished with the stall game, right? Team Europe is still doing their best to stall. They built a dwelling instead of a TP. I'm not sure I like that. I don't think they can convert their extra, unless they're going for are they going for a stronghold? If they get onto Chaos's tile, they could go for a stronghold. But I don't see the need to build.
And do they have can they spare that dwelling
for their town?
From their town? Yeah.
If they build 2 more TPs, they can. They just need to build 2 TPs somewhere, and they can do it. They might be taking that dwelling just for network, because they would like to get 4 more structures onto the board. So that would involve taking B3, followed by building 2 more TPs, and then filling up the upper left with dwellings. So I think this might be a network play. They'll get to 3 structures left, and then that's good enough for second place on network. Nomads is taking first with 2 structures left, and Witches might get the 3 structures left too. Witches did go for their tempo for Air 1.
Mm-hmm. And they single dug the gray. Mm-hmm. They're also slow playing.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So some of this, it's unclear if this is like the ideal way that they would like to form their town, but the slow play consideration is definitely here, because passing on to Darkling's Tau is 9 points for them, which is huge.
Yeah.
But Witches is out of moves now. So Darklings might just want to throw that dig away, because Witches does look a little scary at the moment. Do they? Just a little.
I mean, they have a whole nother town coming, which is in addition to their 5 extra points, whatever town points. Mm-hmm. And that's a bunch of dwellings that they're going to put down.
Yeah, I guess it's scary if they land on the ship scroll. So the 9-point swing is pretty big.
So I guess Team USA, if they're having to pass, they're taking dwelling or the dig scroll, which is pretty good.
Yes. Team Europe is also only a couple moves away from stalling onto Chaos this time, which is a fair number of points too. They could put their, and the thing is, if they pass now, they can't even pass on to the priest tile. So yeah, I think they do.
Because they're out of priests.
Yes, if they pass on to the priest scroll, they're out of priests. So they have to spend.
Oh no, they have 5 priests.
Mm-hmm. No,
available.
But they couldn't have passed on to the priest scroll with holding the priest in hand.
Oh, right. Mm-hmm.
Witches do take the dig, and really it might just be more necessary. I'm not sure how much exactly they need this, but it's also a little awkward that Witches doesn't get to take the coin action.
Why not?
Witches.
They need 1 more power.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
yeah. They need 1 more power. Ooh.
Do they need the coins though? They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 coins is enough for a trading.
They need 1 more ship.
Mm-hmm. That's true. They could take the ship town, so maybe that's not as big of a concern.
And they need an expensive TP.
True. That is
6, 4. So they need 10 money. They have 7.
Unless they want to do 2 TPs and then 3 more dwellings. Do they have enough for that?
And here's power. How much are they being offered?
Team Brazil built a TP 3 power. Yeah, I think they take it. Yep.
Oh yeah.
Wow, that's that's nice.
That's lucky. Okay, so then I think they can build 2 TPs and then have their long vertical town in the east.
Mm-hmm. What they could do, they don't need expensive TP now, I think. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep, they don't need expensive TP. They could
2 normal priced
TPs.
So that's 6 plus another 6, 12 money.
They will have 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. They'll have 13 money. So, yep. And then worker-wise, they will need a hard dig, 2 TPs. So hard dig for 2 TPs, that's 7, and then 3 more dwellings. They will need 10 workers to fund that, and they have 9 workers, but they have an extra priest lying around.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Team USA's plan of building their 3rd town, getting down to 3 structures on the board, so tying Darklings on network. And
Did that money include the ship upgrade?
No, but they can do that with their town. I
Okay.
think they might be like about 1 coin, 2 coins short by then, but they can do that with their town. But not having a pass scroll is going to hurt a little. And they are lagging Team Europe, the Darklings in cults. So I don't think they'll be able to overtake Darklings. Darklings just have so many points coming.
Nomads get ship scroll.
Oh, Nomads get ship scroll. That's definitely very much welcome. They need something there.
What a boon.
They don't have a town incoming though, so I think the points are still too far away. They do have a cult in the bag, and they have a pass grow. They have number 1 on network. It's competitive. It's competitive, but I think it's still too far away from Darklings, who I think I still have as a front runner here.
So they can afford 1 TP and then 3 dwellings. Mm-hmm. Does that leave enough money for them to upgrade ship to 3? Since they have the ship scroll now?
6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it's might just be enough. I think they'll have enough because they'll have extra workers flying around. They will have they'll have extra workers flying around. They will have power. Yep. I think that's Nomad's plan. Nomads does have like an abundance of places to build, but they have a town if they get a bridge.
Oh my gosh, okay.
And Darklings is a little too occupied to disrupt them at the moment. Oh, this is spicy. Wait
a minute. Does that mean Chaos gets no town?
No. Oh, because they passed first.
Yes, Chaos. 0 town Chaos.
I mean, if they really wanted to, they could brute force a town somewhere. Not somewhere, right?
No, I mean,
That's true.
brown is a double dig.
I'm not even sure if they can. That's yeah, you're right.
Oh.
No,
they could try to upgrade digs.
But they will need 5 digs in the north, right? That's where their town is coming.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And like if they take workers.
Oh yeah, I guess that works. Because they upgrade digs, they go down to 5 workers. They spend all the 5 workers to dig, which means they need a worker power action. And then they can just exactly build 1 town.
Okay. Phew.
This is so awkward.
Team Brazil.
Is Team USA thinking about blocking the bridge? What is Team USA doing with their resources?
Wait. No. Team USA took money.
I'm sorry, Team Europe. Team Europe right now.
What? Oh my gosh.
Team Europe wants to build 2 more TPs and 5 more. Oh wait, did Team Europe build another?
Huh?
Trading post? Oh no, they just had, yeah. How many trading posts can they build? Can they go down to just 2 structures? I don't think they have enough, but they will only need 4, 5, 6, 7, they only need 9 workers. Yeah, they don't have enough. So they don't have enough to go down to 3 structures, but they have a slight abundance if they just want to go down to they don't have enough to go to 2 structures. Like they don't have enough to build their last trading post followed by a dwelling, but they have a slight excess right now, especially the priest. They have an extra priest, But
they do have an extra priest.
it's not clear that they can disrupt nomads because nomads is going to sandstorm that.
Mm-hmm.
So the only way to disrupt nomads is to build on it or take the bridge. So, but I think nomads is too far away for them to need to block nomads with a bridge. Maybe not. It's I'm sure they're doing the calculations right.
They did it! Oh, Team Brazil!
Well, yeah. It could be that the calculations turned out that they did need to block nomads, or it could be that they're just playing their fighting game and.
Oh man, is it Zhevak? Is it him that's like such a fighter here? Oh my gosh.
Well, yeah, Team Brazil has nothing left to do then. It's probably like a 9-point swing. Them being able to build a town, getting the priest. Maybe a little more than that. And Team Canada is going to do the dig upgrades. So I guess Team Canada is going to take workers.
Who dug this in the east? Dug the yellow to red. Was that Chaos that did that?
Yes, that was Chaos. They have 2 ships.
They didn't want to just contribute to their town?
That's true. They might be thinking that they'll get bridge. Well, but yeah, that's true. Even with a bridge, they need to contribute. So they could just be blocking nomads for... Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what that... Like, maybe they are not towning. Maybe they are not towning, but they are building a ton of dwellings. But they're still increasing dig to put out a ton of dwellings. Because they do have all that money.
Okay,
I don't think they have anywhere else to spend that money. If they do 2 dig upgrades, they can still have enough money to put out 4 dwellings. They don't have workers to put out 4 dwellings, though, so that might be the bigger issue. I think the town is good, though. I think the town is...
They still take workers here.
Yeah, I think they still take workers here, and they start by upgrading digs, and then like the town spot might not even be there. Like after they're done upgrading digs and stuff, it's a pretty disruptible town.
Yeah, but who wants it? I mean, Darklings are busy. I mean, they've already done enough to hurt. They can't really spare.
They've done.
Oh, but they have 1 priest to spare. They do. They can turn a brown black.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but once Chaos has the full worker upgrade, then really the disruption has to come from the dig and build, which Darklings might not have enough to spare for that.
Wait, but I thought we calculated that they have just enough to build, because they need 5 digs, 4 workers, or 4 workers for upgrading ships, so that's 9, and then 2 for building dwellings.
Yeah, I was thinking they don't have enough for an extra dwelling to put on A7, which is like the way to kill the town. Because if they just dig it, Chaos can dig it back after they do the full dig upgrades. Or can they not? Maybe they don't have enough.
They don't have enough dwellings. They have just enough to do.
They have just enough workers to finish that town. Well, it's a tough town. It's a very tough town. Their score situation is okay though, right? Because the dig upgrades do give a lot of points, and then they will be able to build 3 dwellings, which is another 12 points. They have their point situation is not too bad. And then
so after they upgrade digs, they would have 7 workers left,
which is enough to complete their town, and then they can take.
Or can they just make more points by just building dwellings?
I think the dig is actually the town is more, because you're spending 3 more workers to build a town because of digs. Right, because if they're just doing the dwelling spree, they're looking for places where you only need 1 worker to dig. But for the town, you need 3 more workers to complete that. because it's overspending one on one spot and overspending to another hex. So 3 workers, but building the town gets you back 2 workers if you want it. And it gives you another 7 points. So I think that works out. It's and Chaos will end at a respectable score. Like if they take second in all 4 codes. Like we're saying, Chaos isn't doing so hot on the codes, but second on all 4 codes is still 16 points. That's that is still some points incoming.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, nomads with nothing to do. It's going to be hard for them to... I guess they'll probably get second on water. Because Chaos really can't spare anything if they're getting this town.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, if nomads wants to upgrade ship twice, though, then they can't spare priest either.
That's I forgot about that.
They have, I think they have just enough money to do like the 2 ship upgrades and then the TP, the dwelling. And then a couple workers left over. Yeah. So Team USA is chugging along with the TP upgrades to free up the dwellings, which means that they'll probably be last to pick the towns. It's a little close, but I guess there's not a huge demand for towns, for town ties at the moment. The 3 highest scoring towns are still there, so you probably see Darklings taking a priest town or the 11 point town to deny USA the 11-point town. USA gets a priest town. We're also saying that USA might need the town to fund the shipping. So it's not clear yet how many resources they'll have left over after they finish the town. And so if they need like 1 resource, then they take the priest. If they need like 2 resources, they take the worker town to fund their shipping.
Right. So they have to build a TP and 2 more dwellings.
Yeah. And then they also need the hard dig, right? They also need 1 more hard dig.
Oh, that's right.
So that's their plan. Europe's plan is also like Brazil's plan, CM's plan. CM did go for the dig upgrade, so I think they will be building the town. And I think everybody's plan is pretty clear. Nomads have a couple of resources left, like 3 resources that they can't utilize except to turn into 1 point at the end. I guess that leaves nomads as the one that can take the priest action and send it to water for 1 more point. That's what they have with their extra resources.
Right. I'm waiting to see if Europe decides they want to just dig the brown one and make it really hard. I mean, Team Canada just really needs, at that point, 2 power to get an extra worker to complete that town.
Mm-hmm. Yes. If Europe is doing their calculations, they will see that Team Canada won't be able to town. But then when we go back to the original plan of just building out dwellings, then
right. I mean, that's fine too. And so how's network looking? Definitely nomads with first.
So let's see. Yeah, it's not clear if Team Europe is. I also don't think Team Canada is like beating them at the moment.
Out.
But then again, where else to spend this priest? Okay, I'm
Team
convinced
Canada
that
with 103
go along
points.
with the fighting spirit, we're going to see Europe dig the dig the brown away.
Yeah.
Oh, that is. Although USA still has TP incoming, right? So that will give
Team
Chaos
Canada
a
is
little
fully
power.
upgraded. Okay, so Team Canada is their digs are fully upgraded. So if Europe is gonna mess with them, they have to do it right now. because Darklings only have one ship, so it's not like they can get that black. All right, so we're looking
that
at
could just be what Team Europe is debating at this moment.
Yeah. Can they afford? I mean, they can afford everything, right? They have another TP and then. Oh, wait. They need to put down. Yeah. One more TP and then 2 dwellings. And they'll be at 3 structures. As will USA. Right? USA isn't getting. Oh, they did it.
Yup. Chaos.
They did it. But they can't afford to build on it, right? Okay, yeah, they just did it. All right, so now Team Canada just has to pray for 2 power. Man, Darklings. Everybody's paying the price. Except for Witches, which is nice for them. All right, and here we have Lizzie reporting live from the Diggler once again. Digger.
Hi, I'm here from the Digger again. I was just speaking to Team Europe. I wanted to ask them about that bridge that they did, the bridge to nowhere. And they said they wanted to take the bridge from Nomads. They're, trying to sabotage Nomads town, which seems like they successfully did that, denied them a town. They calculated that they had exactly enough resources for their own town, which is why they went ahead and took that move that didn't really benefit their own team in any way.
Well, it's very on theme for Team Europe to continue to play in fighting in a very destructive...
Very aggressive.
Yeah, it's not even disruptive anymore, it's just destructive. Straight up.
What's interesting is they even wish they could have done more disrupting. They said it was unfortunate that they couldn't disrupt Witches. So I think they're just equal opportunity, just being savage, trying to be savage to everyone.
Do we have any clue as to who specifically on the team is like the driving force of this?
Well, I think I heard that Bisagoa was the one who decided to take the bridge. So I guess
that's awesome.
I guess the Nomads can just blame him. All right, well that's all from me. All
right, back to thank you, Lizzie.
Thank you, Lizzie.
Signing off.
Okay.
So Chaos has been forced to give up their town, and they're just going for digs. It is a little awkward that they are out of spaces to dig and build. Like there's nowhere they can build their last dwelling. Is there?
What about the yellow in the north?
The yellow. No, they have 2 more, but they would like would like another gray, and there's no gray left on the board.
Yes, thank you, Darklings.
Thank you. So Team USA is going to be left over with just not enough to increase their ship. So I think they're going for the Priest Town, and then round out their game by increasing ship.
Okay, just using the priest as a resource to maximize points.
So they are pretty much completed the game. Europe is about to town up and complete the game. Brazil is about to go 2 ship increases, and also a priest to water to complete, to round out. And then Team Canada would like to have to be able to dig somewhere else, but they're out of. They also only need just a little more power for that.
I wonder if Team Canada doesn't want to just take fire right now.
They unfortunately can't because they don't have a town.
They can't.
They can't get to the 10th spot because they don't have a town. Which...
Oh, that's right. They have 0 towns. Holy moly. Oh, I forgot about that.
Yes, otherwise it's a very... Otherwise it'd be a great move. Spending 7 resources to overtake fire,
Team
overtake
Europe.
water.
Denying Nomads a town, denying Chaos their only town.
Team Canada is still holding out hope for power, but I don't see anywhere that they'll get power.
Darklings even have a cult step. Have their Water 2 cult step so they can tie for second on Earth.
Yup. Or pass on air depending on who they've calculated to be the bigger threat. Europe is Europe has come down to 8 resources and they need 8 resources. So they do have their code steps though, but it's they calculated down to the exact.
Man, okay, so they're getting down to 3. Chaos does not get any network points.
Chaos does not get any network points. They do get 14 code points. Well, maybe 13 because Darklings had the code step you pointed out, but 13 code points, it's not pretty.
Nomads actually have a surprising number of cult points.
Yeah.
With their 2 key
I guess
town.
Witches is behind in codes. Witches is
not to mention they've got the only pass scroll, the ship scroll.
That's true. Like I think Darklings is on the lead, but it could be it looks pretty close all around. Like we might see another game as the past 2 games we've seen in the international clash where the first place and the fourth place is less than 15 points apart. So a really narrow spread across all 4 teams.
All right. Team USA first to pass. They've only got 8 points on. Colts 9 for network.
I also might have to take that back because Darklings does have this 11-point town incoming. So that's a lot.
Right.
Everyone's down to like exact resources. More or less. Brazil has left exactly 4 resources plus a priest to do their shipping crazies. Darklings has a dwelling. It's all very pretty. Oh, except for Chaos. But that was only because Chaos was under such fire from Darklings.
Well, I don't think I've seen like such a destructive Darklings game before.
Yeah, I think especially since they started both in the West, so they didn't need to increase ship all that much, and they didn't. And the digs were pretty friendly, like they were all one apart. So they just needed a couple of priests to put down all their dwellings at least in the 2 center towns, which means that they. And then couple that with building their sanctuary and then building another temple already. And then building yet another temple, they just had an abundance of priests lying around. Yeah.
Oh, so I guess they took a priest instead. Priest town.
Yep. It should be the same thing here. They should be putting their priests onto a dig somewhere. Which they do still have places to put a dig to. They are almost out of hexes where they can actually spend the priest as a dig. Almost, but not quite. Chaos rounded out the 2 workers by upgrading to a TP, which is 4 points. So that's the way they eke out the final bit of their scoring. And we're going to have passes all around.
Awesome. What a game.
Yeah, the bridge, the dig, the other dig, a lot of things happen.
Mostly run by Darklings.
Yes, they did manage.
At the point that Nomads got their stronghold, which is often, when everybody's scrambling, it was just too late. They needed every single dig from the stronghold, to eke out any towns they could.
Yeah, I think the Darklings were able to dictate where people can build, where people cannot build this game very well. And then Chaos unfortunately ended up suffering the worst, even though Darkling is not a color neighbor of Chaos Magician. But it certainly did play out like a color neighbor, where they just take away your hexes aggressively.
Just waiting for Europe to pass.
I think Europe is doing the final calculations to decide who to pass on codes. And then they've decided to put it to air, and then it's a pass for Team Europe.
Well, they've definitely got this, so good game, Team Europe.
Yeah, their lead is a little, I think it will turn out to be a little dominating here.
Yeah, yes, they didn't hurt witches. They really didn't affect witches much, but their early placement, their first placement of not being in the east and not giving witches tons of leech and good neighbor, is still kind of affecting them.
No, actually pretty close all around.
Oh, wow.
Well, yeah, even with the, it's amazing. We have one, this is amazing. 12-point spread.
Wow, Brazil.
And the bottom 3 places. Oh my God. We have another tie for second place, the second tie we've seen in International Clash.
Yes, with Team Europe in the first place spot
Team
again.
Canada 1 point short because Darklings decided to blow up their town.
Oh.
This does make the bridge block look a lot like it turned out to be quite necessary.
It must have been a good
if we
move.
give Brazil 7 more points, or maybe 11 more points for the town. Yeah, that's that's huge. So wow.
Wow. All right, so I guess we're just waiting for Bisagoas. We can do the winner's interview.
Yes, although it doesn't seem it seems like there might have been a couple more masterminds behind this elaborate plot by Team Europe to take over all the territory. I think it's pretty amazing that Darklings were able to claim second, and with a very strong network. This is 14 network, right, with 3 structures left, in the upper left. It's not easy to get all that many priests you need
with one ship.
Yeah. The first 2 towns are easy, you don't need that many priests for it. But the final town, we saw Darkling spent 7, 8 digs. Was it 8 digs on that? I guess 9 digs to become the initial blue. So, being able to come up with that 9 priests is not easy.
Yeah, and not to mention that the gray block, C2 block,
yes,
that was a little bit earlier, but that's 3 priests that they used just to block.
Yes, and I think this goes back to the Water 2 decision, which at the time it looks like it might be a little hefty of a coin penalty to build Water 2 at that stage, but the number of priests that it provide over the game really allowed Darkling to do Darkling things the way they want.
All right.
And we see that even though Canada's game was really severely affected, they did end up with a very high score. So I think Chaos going for 30 was fair. And it turned out that if they weren't blocked, they could easily take second place. And then
have you ever seen that? 0 towns, 137 points.
Yeah, really.
That's like what my nightmare is. 0 town, any faction.
Really strong recovery by Canada here to get all the points where they could by upgrading digs, by building the TPs, by by building dwellings, as many as they could the last round. Like they just needed, if they had one more worker the last round, I guess it doesn't really make a
Still
difference
only
because,
get them to 4 structures because
yes.
they needed to build a TP.
Yeah, and the TP was 4 points, so it's just as many as the dwelling. So yeah, they did max out, and unfortunately, it was just a couple points away, not quite enough to take second place, but almost, like just 2 points away from taking second place.
I guess like we have Gino.
Gino, hi Gino.
Hello guys.
Congratulations!
Great game.
Thank you. That was one of the craziest games I ever played. That was crazy.
Yeah, was it your plan from the beginning to do double West opening?
Yeah, we were discussing a lot at the beginning, but we were debating between double West or E10. And the time went short and we decided to go on C1 then. And it turned out to be the right choice, I think.
The plan was just one ship, connect everything.
Yeah, the plan with one. So first of all, our plan was to form the third town in the south.
That's what we thought.
Yes, we're talking about that by digging F2, digging the Nomad's Green, and blowing up their sanctuary town.
Right. But then we saw that Team Canada with Chaos Magicians had that crazy round 3 where they built so many dwellings, and so we made a decision. We said, or we play for second place, or we destroy the game from them and go for the win. And then we also saw that if we take C2, we are connected with just one ship. And so we decided to take temporary ship that round, and so we had Tempo on Chaos Magicians on C2, and took that hex away, and then we looked forward what happens, but so we felt safer to win the game because
because we were thinking if you take F2, that green in the west, that you basically kind of force nomads to take the gray and put chaos in a tricky position that way. But I guess you can't count on that happening.
Yeah, of course that was also one point we discussed, but at the end of the day we felt that Chaos Magicians are in a much better place. So we felt we said if we want to attack them, we do that now. We need to do that now. Otherwise, they run away with the game.
Yes, they did end up with a very dominant score. Like a very dominant score, considering that their town was blown up and then their town was blown up.
Yeah, that's. I mean, we just made one disruptive move after the other. That was crazy. But we had it was crazy. We discussed a lot, and at the end of the day, winning this game was amazing.
That also puts you in the lead for the international clash with 12 points.
Yeah, amazing. So it seems.
Does that mean they're safe? They're pretty safe, right? They're in?
I think so, but we'll have to go back to the scoreboards and see how the other teams are doing. But I think 12 points is a very, very dominant lead at this.
Yeah, super. That was the goal, to not have any pressure in the last game. Yeah, but it's just amazing to play with this team. Always, we have, of course, we can discuss a lot of different lines. Everyone sees little things that can influence our game, and I think 4 brains is much better than 1 brain, even if it's hard to communicate the whole thing. I mean, you guys know it. You were in the same situations, but we really enjoyed it, and we had a ton of fun this game.
I totally agree. I think that team playing is surprisingly, I mean, it works a lot better than I thought, and it's just really, really fun.
Yeah, I agree on that. Super nice from Chris Basil organizing this. I really enjoyed.
Yeah, we're gonna quote you on that, Gino. 4 brains is better than 1.
Yeah, that's it.
I think that was one other key decision in the game that we talked about a bit and Lizzie reported on. That was not disruptive. That was more for yourself, which is taking water 2 at that point.
Yeah. So at that point we saw that we can get to priest with water 2, and we have a good shot to at least win one cult and get second in fire. So that was pretty safe for us. But in the end it turned out that we could win 2 cults, and so it was even better. Of course, we didn't expect Team Canada that Team Canada is not able to form a single town. But in the end, this move was good for us because we didn't need to use our cult bump on fire. They couldn't attack our cult since they had no down.
Right, with 0 towns.
Yeah, and that because of that we did that. That was the reason. And also, of course, if they have another town, it's again pretty close.
Yes. Like even without 12 points, it's not that far off.
No, it's not that far off because I think we also calculated if they are able to form the town, they are able to put down one more dwelling, and then it's super close.
Yes.
And that I think so. The dig was super. That dig, for example, I didn't see that A7. I don't know who of the others said it, but I think that was pretty super nice that they saw that we can. For some reason, I was all the time focused on the east, that they make one more town in the east, but they didn't have enough workers to do that.
Yes. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you very much, Gina.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks guys for casting. I will watch the game later on.
And that's a wrap for International Clash Week 3.
Tune in next week for Week 4, hosted by Brazil, I believe, on revised
base game.
The dreaded.
No, no one has been there before, but we're going there next week.
Cool. Right. Can't wait. See you all next week.